Welcome to the Attention Deficit Podcast. It's been a very long time since I've recorded a podcast, but we have two new co-hosts, Bella and Michelle, Shell, whatever she likes to be called. Ladies, introduce yourself. Whoever wants to go first.
Hey everybody, I'm Bella from Flatbush, Brooklyn. I do a lot of different things. Looking forward to speaking to you all, listening to what Crazy Sharon has to say, and Michelle just spicing it up.
Hey y'all, it's Michelle. I'm basically just a creative all the way around, but I love to debate on topics, so I'm just ready to chat.
Michelle, I don't know you could turn the gain up. You sound a little far away.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Does it sound better now?
You sound a little bit better.
How about now?
Say it again.
How about now?
That sounds better. So we have a list of topics that we're going to talk about today. Been, I want to say about 7 months since I recorded a podcast. So ladies, where would you like to start first? Well, first, let me say, how are you ladies doing? How is your mental health? How has your week been? How has your month been? How's your year been?
Listen, 2021, 2020, game changer. That's all I'm going to say. So for this week, I feel like I am pretty much coasting. It's the end of the school year. It is summertime, just kind of winding down and looking forward to, a lit summer, like a hot girl summer. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the topics you're going to have to explain to me. But yeah. Michelle, how you feeling? How's your mental health? How's everything going?
It's been a horrible 2 years.
Oh, Lord.
It's horrible. But I feel like I'm doing better now. Like, I'm getting connected with nature. I'm just keeping myself active. There's a lot of changes happening. But I'm good.
That's good. All right, ladies, can you hear me?
Wow.
I don't know what the hell just happened. It just dropped completely out. I don't know what the hell just happened. So what I was saying was, can someone explain to me what a hot girl summer is? Because Bella brought it up saying she's going to have a hot girl summer, but I don't truly understand the meaning of hot girl summer.
I think for me, a hot girl summer is more like, it feels like you're like 16, less responsibility, a little reckless, but you're relying heavily on your homegirls to like keep you together, but you're having fun, unadulterated, unapologetic. It might be including a little bit of promiscuity, a lot of late night drinking, a lot of going out, turning up. It makes you feel young again and kind of like invigorates you to feel like your younger self. The issue with hot girl summer is we confuse it with like
Thought girl summer?
Yes. Yes. I like that. Thought girl summer. So it don't really go with relationship goals. So it's always in conflict with whether you have a person that you like dealing with. So like you got to kind of cut all your situations off so you can have a successful, authentic thought girl summer.
So you got to be for the streets, basically.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, though.
Ooh, Michelle, come for it.
I think hot girl summer is really just about doing you, doing what makes you happy. Like, whatever it means to men, it's not a problem.
But if we leave it that limited, right, then why are we limited in just the summer? Why it's not like a hot girl year?
That's understand. That's true.
Well, we've been in the house. So, like, summer is, like, really summer this year. Like,
so you guys, everybody know in the podcast, well, that I've moved from New York. My New York summers are, I still, whenever I think New York summers, I think of 90s summers. Like, we all outside on the block, sitting on the steps.
Breaking day.
Like, we just, breaking day, shit like that. Like, do you guys still do that at the older age? Is it the same feel? Since you guys, we are all adults now.
So let me keep it 100. Like, it's no way that we doing like hot girl summer like back to back. It's like more like a hot girl weekend or a hot girl Saturday night. because
day.
hot girl day. It really is hot girl day party because like by 10 o'clock we want to turn down. Like even
Bet.
with the whole like pandemic and the city closing at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock, like people have learned to adjust their party lifestyle to, like within a certain parameter of like the 2 to 10. So I know from my own personal experience, I can't do back to back. I can barely do weekend to weekend. So it's kind of like a hot girl summer weekend.
Hot girl moments.
Yes, hot girl moments, hot girl
Right.
seconds. I'm gonna go with seconds.
I'll be turning up on Mondays.
Ooh,
On Monday?
Thursdays.
What the? Yo, what kind of devil shit is that? On a Monday?
You gotta make it work.
oh my
On
God.
Monday,
Yesterday,
though?
last night I was so drunk. I had like 20 shots.
Oh, yeah, you went to that taco boat shit.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how is La Barca? I want to go.
It wasn't bad. It was actually pretty fun. It was turned up OD for no reason.
What is it called? La Barca?
Yeah, the boat in Spanish.
Oh, my fault, Miss Panamanian.
Okay, come through.
Um,
Latina on a check-in.
oh, I do want to touch base with something. You just triggered a thought. Have y'all seen what the Juan Manuel Miranda dude had to apologize for not having any Afro Latinas in the Heights?
As he
Yeah.
should.
So my thing is, from my understanding, is that they've never really had, even in the Broadway play, there was never really Afro Latinas in there.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
However, when you
Mhm.
think about Washington Heights, right?
oh no,
you
I
think,
agree.
Like you automatically assume like Dominican. There's
Yes.
no dark Dominicans in Washington Heights. But I think that the issue is earlier on when they had showed like through the screenplay or something like that.
Mhm.
They had asked him like, "Yo, there's no representation here." In a
Mhm.
in a pivotal moment right now where Black Lives Matter is trending, you couldn't think about putting like one person in. And his response was like, "Yeah, it's done already. Like, next time we get him next time." And that's why he's getting all this backlash. Like, mm-mm.
So my question to that is, because, like I said, we all are from New York.
Mhm.
We've all seen, not all, but a good amount of Dominicans that don't consider themselves Black,
Oh my God.
Mhm.
and I feel as though, and I'm not saying it's the correct representation he should have portrayed, but it's the I don't want to say stereotype. It's the energy that was given off at times from Dominican people, where they won't consider themselves Black. Dominicans would get offended if you consider them Haitian. Like I worked with somebody at T-Mobile in New York that he was born in Haiti, both his parents are Haitian, but defected to the Dominican Republic, so he grew up quote unquote Dominican. If you ever refer to him as Haitian, even though his parents are Haitian, he will feel offended and get upset.
Yeah, that sounds like some self-hate stuff. I don't know.
It's deep rooted.
Yeah.
It is deep rooted, and then that's where the issue lies to me, where I felt he didn't need to apologize, but being that you explained it that way, that he made it seem like they was going to handle it and he didn't, I understand the apology now, but it's kind of a duality of, do I tell the whole truth or do I tell the truth to make everybody feel okay?
But that's the thing. If you're a curator, if you have an opportunity, if you're a creative, you have an opportunity to show the truth, you also are held accountable to a higher bar of this idea that you are choosing the truth that you want to display. In a climate like it is now, like, all over the country, like there was this thing where they said like white restaurateurs are actually putting like Black owned, and it's increasing their sales. Like
Oh,
being
really?
Black is a thing, and being represented is a thing. So if you're not going to capitalize off of showing the truth, because Washington Heights is a very diverse community, B, you have an opportunity to show the diaspora of the different types of Hispanics and Latinos. Why not? But it was a deliberate choice. So you have your hand in everything at that point. If you're the producer, the director, like you can kind of shift the narrative, and you chose not to. So
Okay, come through with your
Deal with
SAT words.
okay, I'll
That's the
use them
second one
all.
that's the second one for the day.
Listen,
I'm gonna keep a count.
you better do it. I'm baby T.I. over here.
So, Michelle, I'm guessing you're in the Harlem area right now because you said whatever you said earlier. Do you feel as though? Oh, I'm sorry about that. Do you feel as though the representation of how The movie was. Have you seen the movie?
Mm-mm.
I haven't seen it either, but I've seen trailers, and my homeboy was in it. And do you feel as though like what I've said or what Bella said is that Dominicans don't really identify as black, or have you experienced that in any way?
Well, you know, I'm like half Puerto Rican, so like my whole life it's been like I don't belong.
Mhm.
I can honestly say, I know this sounds like controversial, but it's like I've had more like racism towards me from Hispanic people than I had white people.
I can
And
see
it's
that.
like blatant.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy because a lot of these girls that I went to high school with, they would never claim black, and now that it's trendy, it's like I'm black and I'm proud. I mean, it's like
in.
yeah, it's like in one hand I'm like, yes, you're owning your truth, and then the other hand it's like
You're doing it for
bruh,
likes.
you like literally used to like bully me every day. Like I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. It's a shame that it took for it to become trendy to become identifiable.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is that people think it's a cool thing to do to acknowledge that you're black. Like I don't know if you guys seen the meme where it says a white person says I'm 1% black, and it says okay, so say the word nigga.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of those same lines. It's like people want to be ingrained in a culture so much until it's something to fight for. Like
yeah,
it's like
But they don't really want to fight though.
Yeah, like point exactly.
No.
Like once it's time that boots hit the ground and we have to fight. They're like, I don't think I want to do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame that we've come to that point. Keeping it up in that Bronx, Harlem, Washington Heights area. I'm jumping all over the place. We're going to get some sort of formatted order sooner or later, but I'm trying to transition correctly. How do y'all feel about J-Lo right now?
First of all, we gonna remix her name because she's not Jenny from the block no more. We gonna call her Jenny Spin the Block because she's doing a lot.
She's Jenny for the streets right now.
Jenny for the streets, Jenny Spin the Block. She coming back to claim what over. Like,
listen,
I don't really know what's happening. It's feeling more like a midlife crisis. It's feeling like a midlife crisis. It's feeling like I could do what I want to do because I'm J-Lo.
Is she having a hot girl summer right now?
She's having a hot girl every other night. She with another ex, so I don't know. I'm not sure.
Like, I think she's just not settling.
If she pops up with Diddy, it's gonna be a problem.
She ain't never gonna pop up with Diddy because he black.
What you mean?
She's never gonna pop up with Diddy. Like she's said in interviews, I'm never going back to Diddy. She said that. And the only difference I can see is his skin color because you went back to what is his name, Ben Affleck. You're back and forth with Mark Anthony, and he's bona fide a crackhead. Like, what was wrong with it?
Has she even been with any other black man?
No,
she hasn't.
Chris Judd, not black.
Oh yeah,
the guy from Selena, the with the bald head, the dancer.
Her backup dancer.
Yes.
Like, I mean,
no.
Damn, I never looked at it like that. Damn.
Like you gonna go with a dancer before you go back with Diddy? Come on, girl, cut it.
That's true.
I mean, the dancer didn't get her involved in the shooting in the club, but I mind my business on that one.
But when you want to culture appropriate, it come with the culture. Like,
oh yeah,
it is what it is.
But see, and now here's the question: is she Is she appropriating the culture because technically she grew up in the culture?
No, she profited off of the culture
because she grew up in the Bronx.
She grew up in the Bronx, but it's again going back to this conversation of colorism. Like she hasn't immersed herself into like our culture. Think about when she was on In Living Color, like she was glorified because she
hated that
the lightest girl or whatever, and
she hated that In Living Color shit. Like if you ever heard her talk about it, like she talks about it like it's the worst thing she's ever done.
That's what put her on the map, though. Without it,
yeah, she was a fly girl.
Yeah, that's it.
Her and Eric Bishop. I don't know if you know the name Eric Bishop, aka Jamie Foxx. I don't call him Jamie Foxx no more.
Leave Eric alone, please.
Call him Eric Bishop. Him and J-Lo had beef for a while because he made fun of her, talking about she's Jenny from the block. No, I know you from as a fly girl, Jenny. Like, and she hated that shit. Like, it's sad that you hate your past. What made you?
What put you on?
And it separate herself so far from the hood.
Yeah, like, and that's the same. Like, I think like for me, like Bella, me and you grew up in Flatbush. Like
Flatbush.
we grew up around the same people and all of this. And I don't think there's ever a point in time that I want to separate myself from the neighborhood that I grew up with. Saying not saying I don't want to move away from it, but it's like I don't want to lose that identification of where I came from in terms of that neighborhood. I might separate myself from the people I grew up with because like I've posted before, like we all grow apart at some time. It's nothing personal. It's just that we no longer serve the same purpose in each other's lives that we once did.
Yeah.
And I can't just separate myself from a neighborhood I grew up from or the culture I grew up around. Like I'm Panamanian, Costa Rican. I identify as Black. Like
Correct.
I don't identify as nothing else. Like when I fill out job applications, they're like, "Are you Black, African American?" Yes. Like that's how I identify. So me growing up within that culture, I feel as though that I can never lose who I am or where I came from because I always harp back on those nostalgic moments.
True. When I fill out job applications, I make sure that I pick Black and Latina at the same time because when I start speaking Spanish, I hate when they were like, "Oh my God, where'd you pick that up?" Like, it's my first language. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I just have to make that distinction on paper before people start coming for me, and I have to come for them. So
I mean, I put the Hispanic thing down too.
yeah,
I put the Hispanic thing down like as the ethnicity as they called it. Is it wait? So yeah, race is the Black, African American. Then the actual ethnicity, I put Hispanic.
They
Yep.
always put Black non-Hispanic
or Black not white or something like
Yeah.
that. Like
Yo,
That's
so
weird.
I got a funny thing. You know how most job applications now put Caucasian. They don't put white. I have a manager I used to work for that really takes offense to the word Caucasian. So when he fills out job
What?
applications, hear me out. He was losing his mind and all of this shit. So when it comes to job applications, he would never put Caucasian. He would put other and type in white male.
Okay.
Because he's felt as though the word Caucasian is how did he say it? He said it's some sort of derogatory term to make him feel like to make it seem like he's superior to everybody else. I'm like, no, that's the way you feel, buddy.
No, but he's also trying to inherit his white privilege by putting white male in other. Like, in case you forgot, I'm a white male.
Yeah.
Like, just make sure you pick me.
I agree to that.
I can't wrap my head around that logic.
I to this day it still don't make sense to me because I'm just like, at what point in time do we separate Caucasian and white?
I mean, there is a diaspora of Caucasian.
There is,
like the Italians and the
together.
Irish. No, we don't lump them together. They have the privilege of assimilating, so they can just kind of become. They can assume white, right? I can't be Black and be like, I'm clicking white. Like, it just doesn't work for me.
Those are
true. I can't be transracial, right? It doesn't work for us of darker skin color, but it's for them, they can.
It's like when like white passing Puerto Ricans assimilate.
Oh
Italian.
man, that. Oh man.
I be fighting my family. I fight them. Like, I really be fighting them.
Really?
Yes.
So
I have like 2 aunts I don't talk to no more.
Oh wow. So Michelle, don't take offense to this, but so I'm guessing you're African American and Puerto Rican.
Yeah, Jamaican.
Okay.
So good mix.
Yeah. Growing up, I always made I won't say I made fun of it, but like I always made a joke that if you're African American and Puerto Rican, you're basically Dominican. And people and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans just get so mad at me, and I'm a troll. I say shit to get people riled up. And
The only reason that like irks me is because just growing up, like the Dominicans were just so racist. Like,
I know, and that's why I did it to piss them off.
And like
I knew it would piss them off.
It triggers me. Like, it really does.
Can you explain to me why Dominicans and Puerto Ricans disliked each other?
I grew up in a school with that exact beef. I have no idea.
It's a hierarchy of Spanish people.
Like, I don't understand where that's like Panamanians and Costa Ricans not liking each other.
Well, there's a hierarchy there too. So when you kind of put everybody on like a scale or a gamut, you got to figure out like where people lie. Like Puerto Ricans are like right above like Mexicans, right? Because they have their own country, but they're part of our country, so they're not really Spanish. And then you got people from the Bronx that's claiming Puerto Rico, never been to Puerto Rico, don't speak no Spanish. And then you got Dominicans who are full-blown Spanish, and they come over here and they like take over. They have businesses, supermarkets, hair salons, nail salons, like taxi drivers, and they don't ever learn English. They claim whole neighborhoods and they just take over. So it's always going to be this beef because there's a difference, and all they want is that there's a difference between them. And if you listen to their Spanish, it's different. If you look at them, they look
Oh yeah, the
different.
dialect is definitely different, and then the visual aesthetic is different too. But I feel as though that it's not. I'm not lumping them all in together, but I don't feel as though one Spanish is better than the other. Just like saying Africans are better than African Americans.
Well, there's some beef there too.
So there is. I know. There's a large group of Africans that don't like African Americans because
Yeah.
they feel some kind of way.
West Indians don't
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
African Americans.
Yeah, and I
It's that model minority shit.
yeah, and it's like I don't get it to the point of why. Like it make like because growing up, my mother is Costa Rican and grew up in Panama with her Jamaican grandmother, right?
Correct.
And when my mother came here, she had me. I grew up in Flatbush, and she would always like I had American friends, and there was always a joke of you hanging with those Yankee boys.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like as a kid, I didn't take it as nothing because it's like it's my mother, be my mother, whatever. But I never fully understood why. And I guess I'm still to this day at the age of 35 still trying to identify and understand why is that a thing.
So I think culturally, like how you're socialized to believe. So like the immigrant experience is totally different from somebody who they feel has been in the land of milk and honey. So like African Americans and West Indians have this like unspoken beef because West Indians low key think that African Americans are lazy. All they do is they on the welfare, they get their checks and they food stamps, and there is a sense of like, oh, we strapped our boots up and we trying to make a living for our families and we like climbing the ladder of success. While Black people are not doing anything. Whole time Black people built the country emigrate to have these opportunities. So it's just this divisiveness that keeps the larger world going. And the more we kind of like look for the differences in different types of groups, everybody just want to be seen at the end of the day. And it's just a lot of like social unlearning that we have to do. Because for me, it's always like, oh, I know I can't get with no American dude. I can't bring no American dude home because they gonna wild me up when I bring him in the house. So it's like, how do you?
I grew up like that too.
Balance? Yeah, it's like, oh, take that little piss and tail boy out of here. He's American.
Piss and tail.
You know, it just got to be like,
wow.
It could be anybody, and then
that's crazy.
Just not Americans. It could be anybody, not Americans, and then not Haitians because they had like a strong fear of Haitians, like, oh, Haitians do voodoo. Although
that was
voodoo
AKA
and Santeria is all the same. Like Santeria, Obia, voodoo, it's all the same. It's all cultural from different places. So interesting, but it just exists. And I think that the cycle kind of like ends with us when you start raising your children and kind of clarifying things.
Mm-hmm.
Even like as an adult, you're doing a bunch of cultural stuff that don't even make no sense. So like if I come in late, I'm like I can't go in the house with my keys forward. I got to turn backwards. I don't want no spirits to follow me. But I don't believe in none of that stuff. It's just how I was raised. So it's like, you know, undoing some of that stuff because it don't make any sense.
Yeah. Speaking of the Spanish experience and things of that nature, in North Carolina,
the Mexican kid.
The Mexican kid that wore the Mexican flag on stage to accept his diploma was denied his diploma after wearing Mexican flag on gown. Why? Why is this a thing? The child did
just
what he
give
had to
the
do.
diploma. Like, I don't get it.
So here's the secret to white people, right? They like to enforce rules, right? They don't have to follow them themselves, but they want to make sure that other people are following the rules. So they're claiming that the Mexican flag on top of the cap and gown was a dress code violation. And you can't receive your diploma if you're not in the appropriate attire. which is nonsense because you don't get your diploma the day of graduation anyway. Not even in North Carolina. I looked it up because I was interested in figuring it out.
You get it after. You just get what's
like
that
a
thing
rolled
called?
up piece of paper.
Yeah,
like it's
correct.
pretend.
Yeah.
So this whole idea, it's like symbolism. Like we want you to like assume your Americanism. Like they're just imposing certain views. Like the two things have nothing to do with each other. But listen, there's something inherent in being a Karen and being somebody who wants to also make sure that you're following rules, but they can break them. Like they're stat quo keepers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nasty to me that you do this to a child that worked his ass off 4 straight years to get where he needed to be. Grades were good, did everything by the book in order to graduate, and the fact that he threw a Mexican flag on over his robe in order to represent that he's probably I don't want to say first in his family to graduate high school, but if he's a first generation Mexican American, he's probably the first of his family to graduate from an American high school, to go into college, and to show that he has not lost sight of where his parents came from, where his family come from. It's like it's a shame that it's a thing.
But being an immigrant in America is a part of the American dream, right? You come here, the land of milk and honey, the land of opportunity. You pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I hate that term, but that's what they call it. And, you elevate. And to be like this, have this extra burden, because it's difficult to emigrate here, not speak a language, have to assimilate, have to start from behind the scratch line to meet these milestones and still be ridiculed for it. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
And people always customizing their caps. I don't get it.
Yeah, that and isn't that
out of dress
code? Like, yes. I'm bedazzling my cap and gown to show my individuality.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment I put something on that you don't approve of in terms of showing my minority strength and my people can do it, it's like, oh no, we got to put them back in place. You got to be good old boy in order to be up here.
Well, it's oppressive, right? So you can put a little Mexican flag on the top of your cap, but you ain't about to don yourself in the Mexican flag, right? Mm-hmm. We want you to. I'm trying to oppress you so that you know that there's still a force above you. It's weird, but true.
Yeah. I think Bella, you put this into the notes. Exactly. Let's touch on all the school stuff in one quick segment. There was also, which I love this story because I feel as though white people need to use their voice in times of, how can I put it? Not say need, but in times of crisis. And for this girl in Texas to take her valedictorian speech and turn it into a time to bash Texas governors and senators that introduced this heartbeat bill was amazing. Like that, I feel as though at that point you're using your white privilege correctly. And I don't know. It may be for self-serving purposes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But in that instance, yes, it was, to me, was used correctly. You use your white privilege to speak up on something that is oppressive in a way. It's literally oppressive. Like, how do you sign into an act that no matter if you're raped, incest, regret, whatever it is, you cannot abort a baby after 6 weeks. Don't correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't really know if you're pregnant for maybe 2 months?
No, that's not true. Most people don't know until like 5-6 weeks. Like that's like where you start to show like early symptoms, but a lot of women don't really know until like, you're right, about 8 weeks.
Yeah, so about 8 weeks. So at that point already, you don't know you're pregnant and you don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, now you find out you're pregnant and now you're looking like, okay, I can't get an abortion. So now you have to drive out of state to get an abortion.
Yeah. But people been doing that for a really long time too.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
it was like that in Pennsylvania. People
Yeah.
was driving up from Philly to New York to get to Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, and it makes no damn sense at all that's a thing. Like, why does that have to be a thing? It's like comment. Like, why do men tell women what to do with their bodies?
Because men feel like they can, and they have since the beginning of time. So this is just a creative way to do it. Whereas, in the past, like, so it's the same thing. Like, oh, if a guy tells a girl, like, oh, I don't want to have this baby, but the girl decides to have the baby anyway, like, is that guy still responsible for it? So, like, it's always about oppressing a certain group of people because of fear of what they bring to the table. So I think that women are always on the chopping block because Black women, especially, we're the most educated, we're the largest population, like, of people that consist of Americans, and we are constantly doing things. We're upward mobility. You're building businesses. Like, there are small business grants just for women. Like, there's so much to be said for women, and men want to remain in power. So how do I do it? I make decisions about women, their bodies. Think about, like, even health insurance. Health insurance covers Viagra, but won't cover, like, fertility issues in, like, so.
That's wild. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know. Health insurance covers Viagra. I gotta go see my doctor.
Okay, blue pills for you.
Listen, man, I'm about to be.
I know
40
you're getting
in a
up
couple
there.
years.
You're getting up there.
I'm about to be 40 in a couple years.
But I always find that, like, with these laws, like, it's kind of combined with, like, Christianity. Like, a lot of people stand behind Christianity to, like, promote these oppressive things, like, and then use the Bible as a way to, like, just be like, yes, this is the right thing.
I wholeheartly agree with you. But here's my question. Didn't they teach us in elementary school there's supposed to be a separation between church and state?
Mm-hmm.
Why is there no separation?
Because it's fake. It's fake as fuck.
Right. It's only in with regard to, like, schools. Like, I'm only going to separate it here, but I can mix and mingle everywhere else.
Yeah, because in the courthouse, you raise your hands and they swear you in. Who are you swearing to?
On the Bible.
Yeah, on the Bible. Like, you're swearing to God.
But even think about the inauguration. It's a whole prayer. We all praying as a nation with this person of whatever faith of the president. Then you have them swearing in over the Bible from God knows how long. Like, it's ingrained in the American tradition, but again, it isn't inclusive. Mm-hmm. They always going to use morality to kind of guide these laws, which is why we have the whole LGBTQ plus community and their struggles with getting equal rights, because they're seen as less than, because they don't match what, people in power believe to be the norm.
Exactly.
I agree. I think the last school thing we have is the disturbing one, and we actually have an update for this one. But a teacher I think she's Brooklyn, but I know it was in New York.
No, Dalton is in Manhattan.
Oh, so Dalton Elementary School was teaching first graders about masturbation.
Talk about it. Let me hear.
I don't get the thinking behind this shit. And the reason why it bothers me is, yes, kids should learn about sex education. First grade is not the place where kids should learn about sex education. Masturbation is not something that kids should learn about as well. And from a third party source. Like, I would be livid. I would lose my fucking mind if my son came home and told me that his teacher told him about touching himself in specific areas. I'm like, I would lose my mind. Like, that's borderline pedophilia.
Mm-hmm.
That's walking that line.
I don't know, because during the day I work with middle schoolers. I've been doing that for over a decade, and I understand that we're thinking about the children that we're raising, children that we are involved with our specific experience. But these kids are far more advanced, and there's science that proves that you're discovering your body as early as pre-K. Think about, like, kissing in the cubby hole. Like, they're doing these types of things as early as pre-K, kindergarten. when I
Which
watch the video, the
Mhm.
video is giving information. It's not saying this is how you masturbate. Step one. It's offering information because you are experiencing erections. You are experiencing these things on your body, and your parents aren't necessarily comfortable with telling you or telling you at all. What I do think the school should have done is they might have like sent a permission slip home, like, hey, we're gonna be talking about these things on these days. No, okay, then keep him home, or we're gonna put him in the music
Johnny's
room.
in first grade. He can't come.
Okay, well that's fine. Like, it's your right to determine what you
No,
want
you
to
don't get the
expose your
joke.
kids
You
to.
didn't get the joke.
Johnny's coming. Yes,
Yeah.
he can't come.
Yeah.
He's 6, but he could come. He's just not coming with the stuff. But the idea is like, yes, that teacher did overstep because they didn't ask for permissions. But the things that the teacher was discussing with students, it was perfectly okay, like completely okay. I'm talking about.
But it was also outside of the curriculum. She did that on her own.
Oh, really?
Well, the thing with Dalton is there is no pre-slugs curriculum, right? So each kid to go to that school is about $60,000 a year. So what we're talking about again is
White
privilege, and even black wealth, like a small population of them. So it's like you're going to this school because you want your kid to have a different experience, right? You want your kid to be well. This is something that they need to know, but you want to have a say so because you're paying out of pocket. So I think that if this was a middle school, or not a middle school, a public school rather, there would not be any outrage because no one would care, because no one cares what we teach kids in public school because you're too poor for me to care about it. So again,
I wouldn't say that.
I'm telling you, but go for it.
I wouldn't say that to the fact that people don't care. I feel as though, like, I agree with you that the reason why this has been brought up is because of the money that's behind it. But it also, I feel as though, like, yes, there is no curriculum, but like you said, there was no heads up as to what transpired. I bet if this was a public school and they did the same exact thing and there was no heads up from any staff member to parents, it'll be the same sort of outrage. Would the teacher have resigned? And the update is she did resign. Would she resign? Probably not. Because she wouldn't have no pressure coming down from her from headmasters and benefactors and donors and things of that nature.
Correct.
But I feel as though I think the outrage would have been the same. She would have been reprimanded in terms of probably suspension with no pay for a while. But for her to straight up outright resign from the job, I don't think it would have gotten that far.
Well, no, as a public school teacher, no, she would not have resigned. She would not have had any, like, she might have got like a disciplinary letter or whatever, but she would not have not been paid. The idea here is we're always talking about like the way of the future, right? And we still want to teach our kids abstinence. Like, kids are having sex 5th, 6th grade, and they don't even know that they're having sex, whether it's oral sex, sexual intercourse.
Wait, these kids having oral sex at 5th grade?
Yes, that is. They're not finger popping.
No.
They're not kissing on the cheek. They're not holding hands. Like, they going for the gusto.
Because I went for the gusto when I was 11 and she was 16, but I didn't get oral.
Well, that's the new kiss. They're not finger popping. They like, kids are talking about shaving their pubes. Like, I didn't start doing that till like high school, probably. Like, I wasn't worried about that.
I didn't get pubes until I was in high school.
Like, they like listening to them talk is like mini adults.
Michelle, don't laugh.
Which are like legit. They don't have enough information. So
or they have too much information.
Yeah.
Too much of the wrong information.
Yes.
Even though they have a lot of information, it's not right. Like,
and I also think I put at fault social media.
You can't fault social media. Who's monitoring them?
No, and I agree. But I also put at fault social media because social media has built this stereotype and this mindset that if you're not doing what everybody else is doing, then you're doing something wrong. And that mindset has gone through social media. It was built upon social media. That everybody's trying to live up to everyone else's expectation and lifestyle, and it doesn't work that way. Like, there's girls right now that feel as though if a man don't buy them a Chanel bag, a Birkin, or try to get a Birkin bag or something of this nature, that the man doesn't have any money, and it don't make sense. Like, how are you trying to look at a rapper or a quote unquote famous person that's getting all kinds of money and doing these things, and your guy works a 9-to-5 job and you expect him to buy the same exact thing?
Yes, I do.
Oh God!
Come through, Michelle. We
Oh,
want
my
that
God.
Chanel.
Oh my God!
Okay, just a boy bag. That's all. That's what we want.
Oh, you just want a boy bag?
Yep.
I don't know what the hell a boy bag is, but yeah, that's not happening. Chanel bags run what $1,600 for the doll ones.
He could save his money.
He can save his money.
You
And
don't
what
have
are
to
you
get
saving
it
your money
right
for?
now for my
What are
I'm
you
house.
saving
giving him
your
a
money
heads
for?
up for my
First of all-
40th.
What
You got
what'd you say?
time. For my 40th, I won't. You could save over years if that's what you need to do.
But
Show
no, so-
me you love
Exactly,
me.
right?
All right, so here's my thing. So you're saying he can save up and give it to you for your 40th, right?
Yep.
These girls want a Chanel bag after date 7.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
Jesus Christ, Michelle.
well, guys out here pretending too. Like people in your
I'm not-
DM, like, oh, let me take you to STK. Let me take you. You want to take me to all the lit spots? I don't even eat red meat, sir. Like I'm good with Popeyes.
What? You don't
Like
eat bacon?
I do. I'm just saying,
Oh,
but they,
I'm
No,
about to
I
they
don't
say.
eat pork.
I eat
What?
everything. But my point is, they too fall into the trap. So they want to look
Oh,
like they
yeah.
balling. They got these fake watches on that don't friggin' like wind up. Like
They
come
roll it
on.
on TikTok.
They
roll it on TikToks, and
TikTok.
there's TikTok. And they roll
Exactly.
these TikToks. Roll these on TikTok. But,
So it's weird that they want to be held to this standard, but then when you press them on it, they're like, "Whoa, now you ain't giving it up," and it's like, "Hold on."
and I agree. I 100% agree. Now, the age old question comes into play with this: is it the chicken or the egg? Do the guys feel as though they have to portray those images in order to get a girl, or do the girls portray this image in order to attract the man, or to separate the, as they quote unquote, boys from the men?
I think that we hold a bag when we kind of figure out, like we know who we gonna talk to.
Mhm.
Right, so if we approach you, you don't have to work hard. We already gonna talk to you, son. Like we good. Like you don't have to pretend.
Why the
like,
Brooklyn coming out of her?
I'm just saying you don't have to, because at the end of the day, like I'm kind of navigating this. But if you approaching me, all right, I need to see what you got, what you bringing to the table. Like that's different.
All right, so here's my question to you, right? Both of you ladies. So you said if a man approaches you, he has to earn his way in, correct?
Yeah.
And if you approach a man and he puts you through the same loops that you do you feel some kind of way?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I've bought vacations for men. Like,
excuse me?
Exactly. So it's like it is what it is.
You gonna have people on Instagram. She gonna have people on her Instagram like, "Yeah, you single?"
Mad peen
What's good?
pics.
Now I would
Mad
never
peen
do it
pics.
again
Oh,
though.
Lord.
That was back in the day. I'm a gold digger now. So.
Oh, Lord.
She
Are you a
changed her
city
ways,
girl?
y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You a what was Meg?
I've learned a hot girl.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're a hot girl now. Jesus Christ, she said
it has to be worth
now.
it. It has to be worth it. So
I
at the
won't
end
even
of the
cook
day,
a man a meal.
You won't cook a man a meal?
No, that's special.
No,
that's special.
No,
But cooking,
not.
So what the fuck?
No.
She said I wouldn't cook a man a meal.
No.
Wow.
Why? We could go out to eat, but I'm not cooking you a meal because that's that's a wifey duty. That's like I'm being a wife to JT.
So here's my question now. You wouldn't cook a man a meal, but do you think a man spending money on you is that a hubby thing?
No.
So what is a hubby thing? If a woman cooking a meal, so if better yet, boom, you said cooking a meal, right, is a wifey thing. So let's say your car is shoveled in, and the man say, "No, that's a hubby thing. I'm not doing that."
That's a man.
Would you feel some kind of way?
That's a man thing. I just expect a man to do man things.
So what is a woman? So what is a woman thing?
I don't know. Being alive.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I see what I'm going to be dealing with this podcast.
Like for me, I don't mind if you don't want to help me, like that's fine. There are unintended consequences. So you don't want to dig my car out, you won't be digging my back out either. Like it's okay.
But no, so see, and I feel as though that's a double standard now, right? So being that you won't cook for a man because that's a wifey duty, and if he feels as though digging out your car is a husband duty, and he don't want to do that, where does the differentiation come apart? You get what I'm saying? Like you label certain things as wifey duties, and he labels certain things as hubby duties, and you both say, "All right, I'm not doing these set of things, and I'm not doing these set of things," because until we get to that level, do you feel some kind of ways if he, like, again, like you said, won't dig your car out?
So at the end of the day, right, what does it translate to? So me cooking you a meal for me translates to me being in a more serious position, to like putting you on a pedestal that other people are not, right? Because if I'm dating several people, we're going out, we're getting to know each other.
Yeah.
If I'm cooking for you, now you're coming in my house, we're sharing a meal, you're a part of my sphere, right? Whereas if you're digging my car out, it's like, oh, I don't want my girl to do hard labor, or I don't want my girl to hurt her back or break a nail doing whatever. Or you don't have to do it yourself. Pay somebody to come do it for me.
But like, you don't want the man to go hungry. You don't have to come in the house to cook you. You don't have to come in the house to cook him a meal. You can drop it off his job.
I would Uber eat him. I would Uber eat him something. We could go out to eat. Hungry? You guys, like, I'm not cooking for you, because cooking in itself is labor of love.
Yes,
and she thinks the same way. She thinks the same way. You just lucked up. She thinks the same way.
It's marriage, though. Like,
I'm happy I'm married, because I couldn't survive in these streets right now.
You probably couldn't. No,
I could not do it. I could barely do it back then. Nope.
But cooking is a labor of love. Okay,
cooking is a labor of love, and labor. A man doing labor for women is a labor of love too.
But you understand, right? These days, there are not a lot of men that women will shut the fuck up for. Like, there's none.
Yeah,
it's like 1 in every 100. Yeah. Not even like gassing it. Like,
if you don't make me submit, then you ain't it.
Exactly. There's not a lot of men out here, and I'm telling you, the men that will make you submit, they're dating around. They have multiple women. That's how it is right now.
So, honestly, I seen somebody say something that said 25% of men are in jail, or black men are in jail, and the other 25% identify as gay or LGBTQ. And it's like, there's slim pickings.
What happened to the other 50? That's 25 and 25. Where's the other 50?
But that's what I'm saying. So women outweigh men.
Let's say the other 50 is married.
But that's about a large margin, right? So it's either. So I think somebody was using this argument for monogamy, polyamorous relationships. Was like, all right, women are opposed to polyamorous relationships, but 25% black men are in jail. 25% of black men identify as the LGBTQ community, and the other 50%. Huh?
I'm not opposed.
Okay,
I just had this conversation with I guess someone I'm used to date. Kind of, we're talking again, but I don't know.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
You want that old thing back?
Wait, time out. Michelle, is this the conversation we had?
I'm not sure.
Oh, Jesus Christ. How are you not sure?
We were just, because I don't remember.
Oh my God.
He just wants me to be like, all right, so he has like 3 women.
Oh, wow.
You know, but like, he'll be honest with me. He wouldn't like, but he'll pay my rent and everything, do what a man's supposed to do, but I have to be okay with that.
You have a sugar daddy.
So like the first go round.
I'm listening.
This is good.
I wasn't like, I didn't know that that's what it was. And then when I found out, well, he told me. I didn't like find out. I was like, I don't know if I could do that. But I don't know. It's like the older I get, it's like the slim pickings. It's just, I don't know. I might do it just because like, even though there's multiple women involved, he's still like, compared to like all my exes, he has done more for me. Like, it's weird. Even though he has multiple women, it's like I got more energy from him out of everybody I've ever been with. And it's weird.
I think we stumbled this a good ass topic right here.
So I'm asking the question of, are there certain guys that are worthy of like polyamorous relationships? Because first of all, if you ain't got enough peen, no.
Oh God.
You can't have multiple women, because you're not about to disappoint us as a cohort. Like, no. The next one is, do you have enough money? Do you have enough swag? Like, I see cornballs out here with 4, 5, 6 chicks and they're like, oh, it's okay. Like, no one, if you have a little bit of peen, I'm not gonna join a cohort of women because so y'all can all laugh at me like, oh, she in there faking, like she don't know what she do. Like,
so
I'm not doing that.
Your stipulations to be a sister wife is he has to have enough peen and enough money.
I don't know a man that is emotionally capable of like manipulating or juggling several women. Like,
I'm gonna say, why is it called manipulating with a man?
It's manipulating it. When women do it, it's manipulating too. Y'all just don't look at it that way because y'all look at us as powerless. So
no, that's not me.
The only thing that y'all give power, the only thing that men give power to. Listen, use the nigga representative today. The only thing that men give power to is pussy, not the woman, but pussy. So when the woman wields it for Chanel bags, Birkins, houses, cars, jets, like, why are you upset? Because that's the only thing that you respect.
Well, we seen Sweetie try to do that, and he asked for that bitch back.
And so does Mayweather. You renting a lifestyle, and when you break up with these dudes, they want their Birkins back. That's their investments.
Yes, I want my leased car back. That's in my name. You crashed that car, I'm responsible for that shit. Give it back.
I would crash that shit on purpose.
Well, and guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sue like a motherfucker.
That's another topic we had.
The shit out of you.
That's another topic we had. Should you keep gifts from your ex? So let's say
yes.
I say no because I've had.
Oh, rude.
What, with me?
Yes. Tell us
Why?
more. Tell me more. Why I can't keep my Birkin from my old nigga and you can't buy me one? Come on, talk to me. Talk to me nice.
Oh my God, let me tell y'all. This is
she
years
want to talk
ago.
about her sugar daddy again?
No.
Okay.
So I was dating this guy. He bought me an Xbox. He wanted it back. So
you told me about this.
My new boyfriend told me to give it back. That he'll get me a new one. This nigga gave me a fucking used Xbox. I'm so fucking mad, yo.
So wait, hold on. Why are you mad? It is new. It's new to you.
Shut the hell up.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I was so I was like, I could just.
I got an Xbox One X for sale right now. I'll probably sell my One X because I'm not using it. I turned my One X on once since I bought it. That is hilarious. But I'll give you my example, right? One Christmas I got a LeBron James Cavalier jersey, right? The moment I broke up with this toxic heifer, jersey got thrown in the trash.
Why?
Because I don't want shit to remember. Like, all right, so this ex in particular, I won't say her name because I don't want to get sued for defamation of character, which I can't because it's actually true.
Oh my God!
No, seriously,
you are a toxic heifer.
You can't get sued for defamation if you're telling the truth about somebody.
Okay, so sis, if you're listening, you a toxic heifer, and that's the truth.
You're toxic as a motherfucker. We broke up a number of times, and anytime I tried to move on, she would make me feel guilty about moving on. Like I dated, like I broke up with her, I went on a date with this woman, and she just happened to be younger than me and younger than my ex. And she was like, "Oh, I can't believe you out here with a 24-year-old bitch trying to date her." And I'm just like, she's like, "Oh, you like a pedophile?" I'm like, "Wait, what?" like that, those levels of toxic, trying to make me like feel guilty. But like the moment I broke up with her, I was like, I don't want shit that reminds me of you. Like, and I feel as though in a relationship, you shouldn't want stuff to remind you of your ex. Because granted, you might not like your ex, but when you get something, when you look at that item that you got from them, you're gonna think of those good moments.
That is not true. She should have bought you something better because you wouldn't have thrown away.
And women break up mentally before they break up physically. So by the time we break up, we've been.
Oh no, I do that shit too.
So you a woman, low key.
Fuck you. Just call me a woman.
Yeah.
No, so I tell you why. So when I get into relationships, the first thing I do in my mind, it's part of my anxiety and all this shit, is I go through all the worst scenarios that could possibly happen of me breaking up with this relationship. Like this relationship can go horribly wrong, and it can end a number of ways, and that's how I deal with it. I deal with the breakup mentally. I deal with the depression mentally. I deal with all this shit mentally before actually moving on. So like I've broken up with people, and they're like, how do you get a new girlfriend and like so quickly and move on? Because I dealt with all the downfalls of breaking up in a relationship in the beginning of the relationship, so I'm mentally prepared for it to happen already if it does happen.
Okay, a 90-day plan, an exit strategy. I like it.
It's not an exit strategy. It's my anxiety.
No, it's an exit strategy. I use that same thing.
Yeah.
I learned that from what's his name? Yoga man, Rush Philanthropics, Russell Simmons. He said when you get
the rapist?
yes,
Rapey
when
Russell?
you're getting Rapey Russell,
Oh my God.
when you are getting into these like business relationships or relationships period, you got to think about how you're going to get out of them. So like as I'm dating, I'm like, like how am I going to get out of this? Like what's the worst case scenario?
I don't think about how I'm going to get out of it. I think about how can things, and I even do it with work. Like if I get a new job, the first thing I'm thinking about, how can I lose this job? Like all these scenarios can happen. That way I don't fall into a thing of depression when it actually happens.
Oh boy. Okay.
My anxiety is trash. Like trust me. Like I can't, like if I'm on a subway station in New York and a child is running back and forth and the parents are like, I'm fearing that the child's going to fall and get hit by a train. And I'm going to get covered in blood. Like this all goes through my head.
Sounds a little intense, bro.
Yeah.
You need to reel it in.
I know.
But I'm keeping everything. No, it doesn't remind me of the person. These are things that I've acquired because at some point in a relationship you did some bullshit that warranted this really expensive gift and you're not getting it back. That's like asking for money back. That's like because what are you going to do with it? Give it to your new girlfriend? Bum? What are you going to do?
So how about this? How about you just straight up discard the item?
Why?
Exactly.
I worked for this item.
What did you? Never mind. Don't tell me what you worked for.
Okay.
Never mind.
I was about to itemize for you the things that I do.
I'm okay. You don't got to itemize for me.
Exactly.
So, I arch my back this way, my leg cock up this way. No, I'm
exactly.
All right.
So you work for those things. You either emotionally, physically, financially, like supporting a person when you're dealing with them. I don't think you should have to give the stuff back. Like, I mean, I've seen people like I used to do that when I was younger because this one guy I was dating, he was like, I think he had bought me a pair of like Avizu jeans. And he was like, oh, I had it on and I was talking mad fly to him like, oh, you a bum nigga. I'm a bum nigga. I bought them jeans you got on. I was embarrassed. And I was like, so I don't care. And still, I'm going to keep wearing these. Like these don't have nothing to do with you. Like you're the clown. I'm talking to you crazy, and you spending money now. What? Like, oh my God. You would have embarrassed me if it was like fake, and I'm rocking it like it's real. Like that's different. Mm-hmm. But I work for all of this stuff. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to go on dates with other people with it. You could feel away if you want to. Like
so,
exactly.
I'll say this. My wife would tell you I'm horrible to buy gifts for because anything I ever want, I buy myself. And I don't wait for no one to buy me anything. So like you'll be like, oh, I know he wants this thing, and then 2 days later you see it arrive, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, what do I buy him? But I'll say this: I don't mind if you wear my whatever I bought you out or flaunt it or all that shit. My one thing that irks me to this day, if someone does it, is if I put you onto a restaurant and you take another nigga there, oh, I'm gonna kill somebody.
Oh, really?
Food is my shit.
Nah.
Food is my shit.
You know what's crazy? If I find a restaurant I like, he's taking me.
Oh my God.
Because I'm going to try everything on the menu at somebody else's expense. What's wrong with you, Sha?
First, I went to a restaurant this week that my next date, we going.
Oh my God.
Okay, put me on, Michelle.
And this is why,
where was?
And this is why I never tell women to pick what we want to eat.
Oh, Wolfgang Puck steakhouse. Oh my God.
Ooh.
So good.
This is why I never tell women pick what we want to eat because you're gonna take me to a plus spot her other nigga went to.
Whatever. I mean, like, I
got really be thinking that deep. Like it's food.
Only him because he just describes his anxiety. No other man is going that deep. They just
I'm a foodie. I'm a foodie. So I put you onto a spot. Like I won't say. I put a lot of females onto Sweet Chick in Williamsburg and Pies and Thighs in Williamsburg. Ooh. Like when I went to Pies and Thighs, the first time I went to Pies and Thighs was 2011, 2012. I went to Sweet Chicks around the same time. You know, no one was on Sweet Chicks and Pies and Thighs back then. Mm-hmm. This before they went to Flatbush Ave. Mm-hmm. So I took females, and then I ended up seeing them there. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
On other dates,
I felt some kind of way.
you had to get your food to go.
Nah, I ain't felt no food to go. What about I knocked the shit off their table?
Oh, I mean,
Petty.
it's small enough in there, so maybe.
And they be like, "Why'd you felt some kind of way?" No, don't bring people to my spots. Like,
but that's just like the people on Instagram. Like, oh, I'm where you not. Like, no, just tell me where the restaurant is. I want to go. Like, that's why I appreciate all these millennials, the younger ones, that they put it on TikTok. Oh, this is the new spot. I be on write TikTok them all down. For new shit exactly. TikTok is where it's at, because these niggas on Instagram, your mother's house, and they really be in Philippe's. Like, come on, be for real.
Now, do you see that STKs and Ruth Chris put in was it spending limit that you have to spend a minimum $100 there per person because people were going there taking pictures and only getting liquor?
Listen, I don't.
They be fronting.
STK is a curse word to me. Like, don't invite me to your birthday dinner if you ain't prepay it. Like, no, I'm not coming.
Is that expensive?
It's overpriced. Mm-hmm. Like, it's really the liquor, right? So a drink is $20, a shot is $20. The average person gets about $2. So if the average person gets about $2, but if they getting real lit, it turns into $6 per person. It's 4 y'all at the table. That's 24 drinks. That bill is already in the hundreds. So you ain't even eating nothing. The food isn't that good.
So I don't do birthday dinner. So yeah, that ain't me.
It's overpriced. I don't understand that. It's fucking Chinese food.
But it's not overpriced when it's somebody else's pocket.
Of course not. You're trying to get to know me. You're trying to get to know me. What's wrong with you? Yeah. There's a price tag attached to that.
Oh my God. That's why I don't feel bad.
I definitely was not paying.
When the dudes, before they swipe the card, be like, "Are you coming to my house tonight?" And she be like, "No." And he put separate checks. Like, I don't feel bad for that.
That's broke nigga shit, though.
How's that broke nigga shit?
That's broke nigga shit.
I strategically have to use the bathroom when it's check time anyway. So,
so I'm gonna tell you a funny story. Bella might know the person. I wasn't dating the person or anything of that nature. Just putting it out there now. Mm-hmm. But I legit wasn't. I legit wasn't. I think you know the person.
Okay.
They hit me up. They're like, "Yo, I'm in Flatbush. What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm shit. I'm all home from work, chilling." They're like, "Yo, you want to go grab something to eat?" I'm like, "All right, cool." Now, in my mindset, the way I operate is,
if you ask, you pay.
If you ask, you pay. That's. She hit me up. She like, "What are you doing? You want to go get something to eat?" I was fine in my bed. I could have had hot wings and French fries. She said, "Let's go get something to eat." Cool. We go down to some restaurant, some Jamaican restaurant on Flatbush. It's by Barclay Center, but not too far from
Sugar Cane.
It's not. I think it might be Sugar Cane. I'm not. No, not. Is it Sugar Cane by?
It is. That's the only one that was down there at that time, and they turned that in.
Okay, so yeah, I probably went there, right? So we eating, we having conversations, drinks, whatever. All I know is time for us to go, and I'm like, "All right, let's get the check." She's like, "All right, I'm gonna go to the car and warm the car up." Yo, if you could see my fucking face, like, I legit wanted to say, "Yo, I didn't bring my wallet." I legit want to say, "Yo, I didn't bring my wallet."
You got brother.
Like that, I was hot. I'm like, but I was mad, but it also let me know, like, to never try to bag this person, like never try to date this person. And it's just like, dog, like, what the fuck? Like, even though granted I wasn't trying to bag them, but like certain shit, like you all probably do it. Like, you never completely shut someone out, but it's like once somebody do something, it's like, yeah, I'll never date you. Like, it was one of those moments for me.
Dang, it's the she didn't pay the bill?
No, it's the you invite me out and expected me to pay. You legit hit me up so I could buy you something to eat.
I don't know. I intentionally date men who like don't want me to spend my own money.
No, I'm that way too.
Yes, Michelle, send them.
So I'm the type of person like this. If we go out to eat, I don't expect you to pay. I want you to pump fake at the wallet and make it seem like you like make it look good. Or if I pay, like, "Yo, I got the tip. Don't worry about it."
Why do I have to stroke your ego? If you intend on paying anyway,
but it's not stroking the ego because it's a level of expectation.
Men.
Right. The expectation is you will pay.
So the expectation from a man, but a man expecting sex is wrong.
Listen, I'm
It's
telling
food.
y'all.
You can't equate food to sex. Like,
Why not? You eat in both situations.
But I think honestly, the woman determines if she's gonna have sex with the man or not before they go out to eat. Before they like, so all this extra nonsense that y'all doing, like the flowers, the Uber XL, like y'all don't have to do none of that. She's gonna do it anyway. Like,
so fellas, do the bare minimum and buy a lot of food, and she'll give up the pussy.
She will. She will.
Blank fair. You feed her, she'll let you feed her.
Exactly.
Nah, I feel like Mm-mm.
And Michelle's looking for a sugar daddy.
When I be like, I'm so hungry. If you don't get me food, like right after I say that,
what kind of shit is that?
We can't.
I'm so hungry.
We don't go together.
We don't go
together.
I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. Did you
I'm gonna
eat?
start looking at you different. Like you really gonna
How?
be out here hungry? Like for
How?
real?
This man is hungry every day for punani, and you didn't give him none.
Okay.
He
gotta wait his
different
turn.
sources. Okay.
Wait. Did you hear her?
He needs to wait his turn. Exactly.
What the fuck is this, a merry-go-round?
Maybe. We don't know how many niggas on the carousel.
Nah, blood. This ain't no Ferris wheel pum pum.
See, like me, I'm dating, but I'm celibate. But like the guy that
Michelle, they don't go together.
No, hold on, wait. No. So anytime I hear a female say they celibate, you know what I say? How much you cost since you're selling a bit?
Oh,
huh?
How much you cost since you're selling a bit?
How much?
Sir.
Listen. I posed that question on my Instagram. How much would you have to guarantee in revenue every month for you to create the OnlyFans?
I told you 100,000.
100,000 a month or a year?
A week.
Man, if you don't get the fuck out of here.
These are wild big strings for some change. I'm signing up. What is you doing? I'm coming.
For 100 racks a week, I'm definitely creating the OnlyFans. You bugging. But like I said, everybody has their price. Like men have their price, what they would do, how much, not in terms of financial, but like they would spend a lot of money on women if women do certain things. A woman would give up a lot of extracurriculars if men spend enough time with them, do everything they ask. It's the barter system. You literally is how much can you get from this person in order to give them what you want.
No, I think you're like dumbing down the love language, right? So like if I know that a dude does not value money, that's the dude that's paying to get my hair done, my nails done. Like they don't value money, right? But they value their time. They always hanging out with their homeboys. But if I know that that person is making a shift, like, oh, now that they're spending their time with me and their money, like there's a different dynamic happening in the relationship. What happens is people go into relationships with certain mindsets and they don't even get to learn the person. So they can't even see whether the barter is fair or not. Because girls be like, oh, I just want money. Well, if you're messing with a drug dealer, of course he's gonna
money's
give you
easy.
Money's easy for him.
It's
but
nothing.
He's never gonna give you his time. But you want to go on all these dates, but he like go with your homegirls, go to like, and you that's how you end up cheating. So it's like, how do you figure out the person that you're with so that you can A, get what you want, and then B, give them what they want so that y'all can sustain each other. So all
right. So this kind of goes into I believe Bella, you put this in the topics. What level of honesty is acceptable in a relationship? In the talking stage. Or marriage.
Baby.
I want to know everything. I'm just that person.
So I'm the type of person I don't want to know everything.
Me neither.
You know what's crazy? I was dating this guy, right? To this day, like I love this man, but he ghosted me. Whatever.
That's so right. That's right, King. That's right, King. You got what you got. You was in and out.
So we were like, basically, we were talking like about like we just asked each other questions, and he was like, "Who you lost your virginity to?" And I told him a name. That man was his OG.
Oh wow!
I know.
With the OG and a little nigga.
I know. I met them. All right, so I met the OG like maybe it was a long time ago. But yeah.
Michelle, how old are you?
27.
And you fucking with niggas OG, so he had to be in his late 30s. How long ago was this?
I don't even want to get into. Yeah, that's another part of the issue.
Oh man,
it was the other day, Shy.
I'm doing the math over here, right?
All right, don't do the math because the math though is not good.
It's not gonna add up.
The math is not good. Yeah, you know the drug dealers that that the young niggas were.
Well, Harlem is another beast, so they all know each other. They all date each other. So It's kind of
That's
hard to
why
be anonymous.
it's crazy.
Come to
And that was
Brooklyn.
the second guy
Come
I
on,
Come to
dated.
death row.
What the fuck? Why are you encouraging this shit?
That was the second guy I dated from Harlem.
Because Brooklyn is a little bit
And
bigger.
they knew each other.
No, it's not.
It's
Do
a
you
little
know?
bit bigger.
Ooh, I almost said some shit.
Yeah, don't say nothing. Don't say
I'm married.
nothing.
I'm married. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, thank you for that. Shout out to your wife because she saved us.
Wait, don't listen. You know my past.
I do. That's why I said shout out to her. She's
Okay.
a special human. Okay?
Fuck you, Bella.
But I think that when I was thinking about the levels of honesty, I was recently watching The Chi season 3, episode 2, which is really getting really good. So if you're
I
not
never watched that show.
you should watch it. Like season 1 is kind of trash, but it's becoming dynamic because they're touching on all the things that are trending right now. But right now, one of the main characters is in a marriage with his, I guess, sweetheart, his baby mother, one of his baby mothers, and he's a dick entrepreneur. So he uses his dick.
Wait, what?
He's known around town for having sex.
He's a dick entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's the word. I don't know how to spell it, but that's what it is.
Okay.
So basically, he has slept with this girl that he opened a restaurant with. The girl is now dating his dad.
Wait, what? Wait a minute.
And she's not a girl, she's a woman. The woman is actually played by Lala.
I don't give a fuck what she is. This is why you women are fucking sick. Like, y'all are mentally, there's something wrong with you women.
There's nothing wrong with this woman.
You would fuck a nigga, fuck with a nigga, and they be like, you know what? You fucked me over, I'm gonna fuck your daddy. Like,
no, but she didn't feel that way. She like, when she first met him, she's like, yo, I heard you got a big dick. Let me see it. It's true. And he showed it to her and they ended up having sex. Right. And they just had sex. It wasn't like, I want to be with you. Like, women know what they want. Sometimes they can be direct about it and just move on from it. But now she's in a relationship with his dad and it's more suitable to her because he's older, around her age or whatever. And she's liking the guy. So she wants the father to take her serious. She tells the father, like, yo, I fucked your son. And he's like, oh, all right, cool. But because they have this dynamic of all of them like hanging out or whatever, now the guy is like, oh my God, should I tell her? Should I not? And he ends up telling her that he slept with this woman that she's always hanging around. As a result, the girl is like, she goes and she has sex with somebody else. And she's like, you know what? I want an open marriage. So for me, I don't necessarily need to know all the details of, because when I'm with the dude, I picture him a certain way. I want him to be on the pedestal or the way that I see him. If I see how he's talking to other girls, I'm like, hell, you doing lame? Like, you don't gotta do. She's already gonna fuck you right here. And this text message, she's like, what you doing? Licking her lips. She trying to suck your dick. You don't gotta go harder. Like, I don't want to see my dude going extra hard for other girls because it makes me look at him in a different way. So there's certain levels and boundaries to what he says and does or tells me that I don't need to know. Like, it's cool to imagine it, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. So I don't want to know all the details.
I'm the same way. I don't want to know 100% of the details.
Okay, I want to know everything.
Like with my wife, like her ex prior to us getting back together, I didn't like the dude just because of his face. Like I'm that person. Don't like your face. Like, but I never asked her like go in depth in terms of their relationship and shit like that because at the end of the day, I'm with you. Like, I don't give a fuck about the past. Let's move forward. If you need to get some shit off your chest about your past, cool. But I'm not going to ask you and poke and prod and shit like that because at the end of the day, it's not. I know women go through a lot of dark times, even though they make it seem like they're happy. But I'm not going to open old wounds and shit like that. At the end of the day, like, now, if you have some sort of STD and shit like that, I need to know. Like, if you got a secret baby out here, I need to know. Like, shit like that. Like, there's levels of what I need to know and what I don't need to know. Do I need to know where y'all went on your first date or you guys went to this restaurant? Prime example. Cool. I just thought about this shit, and this is why it's called the Attention Deficit Podcast. So,
you're all over the place.
Yes. Toxic bitch, right? Same toxic bitch, right?
You gonna get a check for this show. Go ahead.
I was working at T-Mobile on 34th Street in Brooklyn on Utica and Union, right? I was at work. She wanted me to print her something, right? And it was raining like a motherfucker outside. And I'm like, all right, come pick it up. I'm printing for you. And she comes, she sits outside of her car, and I'm about to run it out. So one of my coworkers was like, yo, your girl's outside. I'm like, all right, cool. I get a random text message from her. I was like, I know the dude that's in your store. I'm like, I don't know who it is. I'm in the back of the store, so I can't see who's in the store. I'm like, okay. How do you know him? Like, I don't know who it is, but I haven't seen him. She goes, oh, I fucked him once. I damn near lost my mind. Like, and that's the problem I have. Initiating information I never asked. Like, she initiated, I know this person. I never asked, do you know anybody in my store?
Oh, well, maybe she was just trying to elicit some emotion. She didn't know if you was for her, so now she wanted to see if you was for her.
We were 3 years deep at this point.
That don't mean nothing.
3 years deep in a full-on toxic relationship that she cheated on me with every motherfucker and woman in the world with.
Dang. You sound real hurt.
No, I'm not hurt. No, mind you, I am not hurt. I am not hurt. But I'm just saying, we're 3 years deep into this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was no reason to put, like, that's like me going, oh, shorty over there, yeah, I smashed her out one time. You didn't ask that information from me.
I need to know because I need to feel the energy. Like,
But
don't
my
be
thing
coming
is
around
this.
trying to be my bestie, bitch.
But no. That's the thing. No one was talking about anything of that kind. That was legit a customer in my store paying his phone bill that I had not seen. That she just brought up and said she fucked him once.
I'm the same way.
Nah.
But you know what's crazy? Because I literally had this conversation the other day, and he was like, "You gotta treat relationships like a business deal." And I was like, "Oh, you're right."
There's no reason to show your cards if no one asks to see your hand.
But I just need to because I need you to accept me for me.
No, understandable. I will accept you for you, right? You accept you for you, but there's no reason to accept you for you if I didn't ask the question. Let somebody ask the question first.
That wasn't even on the radar, right? So just fly low, sis. You don't need to tell them everything until it comes up.
That's the thing. Like, if someone asks you a question, like here's a prime example. She told me that, right? With no one asking, but if I ask her if she cheated on me, is she cheating on me? Nah, I ain't cheating on you. What the fuck?
I'm sad.
You willingly tell me some shit I didn't ask you, but when I ask you some shit, nah, you want to lie now.
So you're saying that you the guy that asks how many dudes you've been with?
No, I don't ask that.
Oh, I never got that question.
Because I'm the person in the moment that's smashing you out at the moment.
And the hole is still tight, so why you need to know who was there before
I'm in Pound Town, and I'm there. Like, and mind you, she was the type of person that asked me my number, and I told her, and she started crying.
OMG! See, she crazy. Gotta be.
Thank you.
That's not normal.
That's not normal. Like, don't ask questions you don't want the answers to. Mind you, she asked me. I told her no. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not saying it. And she starts crying when I tell her because she kept pressuring me. Like, what bad shit is that?
Don't ask shit if you're gonna cry.
Thank you. That's like you going through a man's phone and finding some shit and then you want to cry. No, you went looking for something.
No, you could cry.
No,
you could cry.
Here's the reason why. You had a story in your mind made up already, right? That he's doing something or she's doing something.
No.
So I'm gonna look through the phone to find out what they're doing.
Or my man is so perfect he wouldn't dare do something the whole time.
So there's no reason for you to go through the phone.
No, I'm just checking to see.
No, there's no reason for you to go through the phone. You had to have an inkling into reason why to go through the phone.
No, like, honestly, there was this one time where I'm like, oh, my dude is A1. He wouldn't do that. Like, that's my best friend. I'm looking, I'm like, oh, snap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. My God, when does he have all this time to dwell? Like, sometimes it's just reassurance, or it's either a confirmation or a rejection.
So my question to you is: a man goes through your phone, right? And he goes,
He's gonna be sad.
It's sad as hell.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
So just don't do it.
Yeah, don't.
Fellas, if you ever go through your girl's phone, never go to her female group chat. Never.
Nah, I left my Apple Watch one time at my ex's house. Oh my God, the heart palpitations. I was like, please.
So I'll tell you why, fellas. You never go through a woman's group chat with her best friends. 1, Your dick picture is in there.
Nah.
Listen,
If I'm going with him currently, no, his dick picture's not in there.
I've heard of situations, right? 2, her friends talking about how they got their back blown out the night before, the week before, whatever it is, that nature. Like men don't know this, but you're in constant competition of your girl trying to one up her friends in terms of sex life.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna talk about it. They might not say, "Oh, I'm gonna try that," or "Fuck out of here, I'm gonna do that shit." But they're in constant competition. Like, "Oh, that nigga pounded me out last night. I can't walk this morning." Like shit like that. Like they like to have those friendly banters.
But that's the same thing. Men just do it in person at the barbershop.
I did that when I was 16, 17. I can't do it as an adult. Like,
because you understand the implications. If I'm like, damn, my shooty really did XYZ. Now your girlfriend dropping you off at the barbershop or coming to pick you up or coming to pick the kids up, your wife, they looking at her like,
not even that. I think for as a man, I grew out of that phase because I'm just sitting here like, what's the point? What am I getting from telling these dudes this? A congratulatory high five?
Street cred.
And at what point do a man say street cred isn't enough?
You're right. You grow out of it at some point.
And it goes into that whole thing of growing out of the friends that you don't have beef with them. You just grow away from them. You grow away from them.
I get it.
I don't care about this Jay-Z topic anymore. It's long gone.
But wait, let me ask you one more question. So and this is a thing I was talking with my homegirls about. Do you need to know if somebody is bisexual or used to be like a man or a girl before, like in the dating phase? Is that something they have to divulge?
Yes. Wow. Well, it's no, not the bisexuality part. No, I don't care about that. Lesbian, ex-lesbian, no. I think the transgender thing, yes.
Why? Because
even though you are who you are now, at one point you were somewhere else. You were someone else. You know what I'm saying? So you have to afford someone to. You're taking that opportunity from someone into making a decision for themselves if they want to talk to you or not. Because some men, even though
you do want to talk to her because you on a date with her. Right?
No, wait, hold on. Also, let me. So they're on a date with that person without full knowledge of who that person is. So they're going in with a preconceived notion of this person was born this way. Right? And without and that's how people die. Like it's sad because some people get killed over stuff like this. We've seen it in the news. Yeah. We've seen it in the news that people are finding out the people that they're dating are transgender and then being killed because of they're not it's not being divulged to them, and now they're feeling though they're being lied to, and they're put in a position where they feel as though that they're questioning their own sexuality now.
Right, but that's that person's shame. That don't have nothing to do because that person is still telling you at some point.
But no, but some people tell them after the sex has already happened. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Like people are being told that they're dating a transgender person after they've received oral sex from someone, or before they've had just sex in general with someone. And it's like now you're putting someone in a position where it's like, what the fuck? Like now I'm questioning who I am as a person. Now I have to do something dramatic when it doesn't need to be done. And it's not right for them to attack or kill someone because they were lied to in their standpoint. But saying that they're wrong for feeling lied to and betrayed is not right. They're 100% right to feel lied to and betrayed. Now, it shouldn't come to physical violence, but they have a right to feel hurt and lied to.
All right, I hear you. When you say the person has the opportunity, they should have the choice to opt in or out of that relationship.
Correct.
Prior to. So, I mean, I guess, but I don't see how that's different from tell me your number or tell me your STD or tell me your abortions. The reason why.
Tell me your abortions. Who have you been talking to?
Yo, people want to know.
Nah, they want to find out if you're a serial killer.
Yeah, they want to know.
Nah. But no, so the reason why I see it as difference is because it's those things won't change someone's perception of you. Those things won't change.
That's why they ask them.
They won't change the no. So people like females have asked my number just to ask legit ask my number just to ask it, just to see like where I'm at in terms of
experience.
Okay. Yes, I was gonna say skill, but it sounded cocky. So yes, experience. And like, am I a rookie
that
or a vet?
also does not mean because your number is high that you got a bunch of experience. You can be
but people take that as some females assume that. They assume that if he has a high number, he don't know, he knows what he's doing. If he has a low number, we don't know if he knows what he's doing. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, but in terms of someone not telling you their original sexuality, it's a blurry line where it's like, I'm not asking you to disclose everything, but hey, I was born a man. I was born let me ask you a question. You start dating this dude, y'all have sex. You come to find out he been fucking you with a strap on the whole time, and he is actually really born a woman. Bruh. Would you feel some kind of way?
I heard a story about this one time.
I would be really upset at myself for not knowing the difference between real and fake dick. So
that's what you're gonna be upset about?
Yes. Oh, where was I? What kind of drugs was I under? Like, what's going on here? Now, but I get what you're saying. It's deceptive. I get it.
It's deceptive. It's just be as clear as possible. You don't have to come out and show somebody, I had this dick once and now I have a vagina. No, just be like, hey, this is how I felt as a child. This is how I transitioned. And if you want to mess with me, cool. If you don't, I don't feel no kind of way. Move on. 9 times out of 10, these dudes nowadays, they're going to be like, fuck it. Like, these dudes are on some wild shit. They going to Atlanta, not for the strip clubs.
For the dick.
They going for the dick.
For the boy butter. They want that boy butter.
They want boy pussy. Like, it's wild. Like, let's see. Where we? We haven't talked about no music. What are you ladies listening to right now?
I went back in time. I'm listening to Kanye.
I was listening to Watch the Throne today.
I've been listening to a lot of like Ari Lennox is like my favorite because
that brown. What was it? Shea Butter.
Shea Butter.
What? And Ari Lennox?
Ari Lennox, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Michelle used to be is a singer.
Yes, Bust a Tune.
Used to be.
Oh,
Bust a Tune. you, Michelle, it's not used to be. You're a singer.
Once a singer, always a singer. I can hear it right now. Say that
again. I think I was introduced to Michelle from a song that she sang with this dude named Cake. I don't know how long ago this shit was.
That was a long ass time ago.
But
I remember you wrote it. You had a blog, right?
Yeah, I did.
And then you wrote it, yeah.
Yeah, I used to sing that. I used to listen to that song daily. Like, I really love that song. Michelle can actually fucking sing. Like, don't let her be all modest and be like, I'm a former singer, because she still got.
It adds to the mystery. Now I want to get to know more. What else do you do?
So we go to do sound check the other night, and she had this whole fucking setup where she has a professional mic. She called my mic the regular mic, and she was like, I'm looking at her setup. I'm like, you got this nice professional mic. You have a compressor. You have a input output shit. I'm just looking like, you do this, like, so. She still has the equipment around. It's like, do you get rid of your stuff from X? She keeps her X stuff around.
Nah, you know what's crazy? Because I just like if I'm going through something, I need to create. So I'll make something, I'll sew something, I'll draw something, or I'll sing something. Mm-hmm. But
I found your art page, but I didn't follow it because I didn't want you to think I was a stalker.
I'm done. Follow it. I need more followers.
I got you. How do you ladies feel that Snow Allegra announced the album, and her album comes out on Friday?
That's crazy. I'm not familiar.
With who?
Snow Allegra.
No, the fuck, you did not say that.
Mm-mm.
I would sing, but you just called yourself out as a singer. But just
I can tell you this one time.
Situationship.
She had the video with Michael B. Jordan.
The one that everybody thought he was dating a white girl. What is she?
She's I think she's. Hold on,
mixed.
I'm gonna look it up. I don't want to get it wrong. She is. Her first name is actually
Snow. Yeah.
Oh shit.
SNOH Allegra.
Let me see if there's anything I know of from her.
She sang that
her
song
last
that they
album is
featured
amazing.
that they featured what's his name? Nipsey Hussle and Lauren London.
She's
That's
Swedish.
how everybody starts at Swedish. And that's it? She's just
straight up Swedish.
Okay, well, culture appropriation, but still, it's really good.
No, she signed to No ID.
So,
culture.
Is it No ID or I think it is No ID. No, Knife Wonder. She's on a Knife Wonder.
Oh, I see she's in the Vision song, and she's in
she's
song.
amusing
her
her feelings. Yeah, she's really good. I loved her first two projects. I'm really excited for that. My homegirl is VP of promotion at RCA Records, and she just dropped that Hers dropping her album on the 25th. And I'm really excited for that. Gabby Wilson does no wrong except for that Khaled song, but she actually sounded really good. I actually
like that song. People didn't like it.
The Migos?
Yeah.
No. I like her on that song. I don't like the Migos on that. Like, do not put the Migos on a Jamaican song.
I just didn't see the purpose for them.
I said the same thing when people thought I was a hater. It made no sense.
Because I love the Shorty Love. I love the Jamaican bop. Then it's the Migos. Oh, we doing this. Okay, got it.
It makes no sense at all. But yeah, I'm looking forward to those two albums.
Right now, that her is coming out of her shell. I was tired of seeing her in the dark. Like, come on, sis. Like you cute.
But Gabby's been out for a while, but she was just super young when she initially came out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. We want to see you in the light.
They said apparently her and what's the other girl? The Spanish girl.
Which one?
She was in Brent Faiyaz's video. Driving the Cadillac when he dropped her off to the other hoe's house.
No idea.
No.
Oh my God.
Brent is talented as fuck too.
Fuck.
Yeah, I like him. I like Giveon too.
Giveon is so I just downloaded Giveon's album. I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet, but I see that everybody dancing to that Heartbreak anniversary song.
I hate that song, but he's.
You said you hate that song?
Yes, because the kids at work, like they
dancing to it
all day. And I'm like, y'all don't even speak English. You don't even know what he's saying.
I don't know if you guys seen this, but people are online comparing outdoor restaurants saying vaccinated people can eat indoors and non-vaccinated people has to do takeout or eat outdoors, and they're comparing it to segregation.
Oh my God! White people want to be oppressed dramatic. So bad. It's just
no, not white people. I've seen black people say this.
Black people don't know what they're talking about. It's not the same thing. You have a choice. I have a choice to be vaccinated or not vaccinated. I don't have a choice to show up black. Like it's not the same thing.
And that was my thing. I'm like, dog, like, how are you comparing the two, right? When black people were born that way, right? You're being vaccinated is a choice. You have a choice to either A, take the vaccination and live your life as free as possible, or don't take the vaccination and fucking live in apart from everybody else because you didn't want to take safety protocols. And it's just like it's segregation. You're forcing us to take something. No one's holding a gun to your head and say you must take this.
Just come over here.
Yeah, and then people are like, oh, I need to find somebody that makes fake vaccination cards. What?
They do that.
I know somebody got arrested for that shit. Like somebody legit got arrested for that shit.
There's a spot in Brooklyn, y'all.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Hit me and play that. I'll tell you.
You are something else.
I know.
No, I'm vaccinated.
I'm big vax. Well, you guys know I had COVID.
I did too. That's why I got vaccinated. So
yeah, I had COVID, and I was like, I didn't have a choice. So prior to getting COVID, me and my wife was going back and forth because I don't take no vaccination shots. I don't take the flu vaccination shots yearly. I don't do none of that shit because my body fights off my sicknesses by itself. And if I do get sick, I get sick once a year for 3 days, and that's it. And it was like a back and forth, like, I'm not taking the vaccination, I'm taking the vaccination. The moment I got COVID, she's like, well, you can't fight it now. I was like, motherfucker. Like, that shit got me mad.
Well, you got the antibodies.
Yeah, but I got vaccinated, and the day after my first shot, I had 101-degree fever.
You got sick.
Yeah.
So no, that's my
bad. When you had COVID, when you get the vaccine, it reactivates it. So it's almost like you have it again.
Yeah.
So when you had the worse your symptoms, the worse it was when you get the vaccine. So the same thing happened to me.
So my vaccine symptoms wasn't that bad. It legit lasted for 6 hours, the fever. I had a headache, but that was about it. But like when I had COVID, I legit thought I was gonna die. Like I was planning my death. Like I was checking my life insurance policy. Like I was checking my 401k. I'm like, all right, the family good. Like I was on that type of time. Like I did not think I was coming out my basement. Like I thought if I was coming out my basement, they were gonna put me on a cart and I was gonna be gone. Like I was that scared for my life.
It's the breathing. Not being able to breathe, and then if you're asthmatic like I am, like it is very, very scary. So I had out of COVID, just working out and like getting outside, being active, like that. Like the tricky part about COVID was let me just lay down. If I lay down, and the more you lay down, like the worse it was for you to breathe.
So I was fine actually laying down. If I laid on my back, I was fine. But if I laid on my chest or either one of my sides, I could not breathe.
Nah, I laid down and I couldn't feel my legs.
What the fuck?
I could not feel my legs at all.
The hell?
I know. It was so
They
crazy.
hit a nerve on you.
And then, I got over the symptoms for a week, and then I got it again like a week later.
Wait, what?
You had COVID twice?
In a week?
It felt like that. Yeah, I got all.
You probably had one COVID.
Yeah, it probably just didn't go away.
Yeah, you probably just felt better periodically, and then it was like, nope, I'm still here, motherfucker.
Yeah, that shit was like a month.
Oh wow.
Yeah, about 3 weeks.
I did that Jamaican thing though with the with the orange pills.
With the orange pills and the ginger and the sniffing.
Yeah, that shit didn't work for me. Oh, we should have talked about this part when we were talking about the whole being honest thing with the exes. Do people hate to see the ex fail, that they fail with, become successful with the next person?
In the beginning, I think, yeah. But then if you're happy, you're just going to want everybody to be happy. When you're not happy, you're just going to be like, fuck out of here.
I respect that honesty. Bella about to come through with some shit.
Nah, because what I'm going to tell y'all some real tea. Every guy that I've dated, I've made him better for whoever else he's going to be with. Like,
I hate that for me.
Like, I've watched people get married, have babies, like all that other stuff, and it's just like, interesting.
I was the same way.
I did the same shit.
I can't unsee them. Like, I'm like, oh, you trash ass nigga. You never even ate at Philippe's before me. Like, you never even been out the country. Like, you trash.
I fixed your credit, bitch. Like,
you do hate that. So I was the same way. So I used to remember the movie Good Luck Chuck? Mm-hmm. That was me. Every person I ended up breaking up with, or the relationship ended with, either A, ended up with somebody else they married, or they had a baby right after me, like literally right after me. And I'm just like, damn, like, and now mind you, I'm not the type of person that hate. I'm just like, damn, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Like it became a running joke. It was like females would ask like, oh, what happened with you and your ex? I'm like, we broke up, tell the truth or whatever. I'm like, well, she's married or she's pregnant now. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, and it was like, and that's when I started noticing it. And I'm just like, wait. And I started feeling like Good Luck Chuck. Like, all right, this is like a trend or some shit like that.
I mean, at the end of the day, if the person is doing better as a result of being with me, I'm cool with that. But I also have to stand back and kind of reflect, like, what about me is saying to these people that, like, I'm a doormat, or I'm like the place where you get pumped up for the next person? Because it's not like the new person is better than me, right? Because then that starts to happen too. It's like, well, what does this person have that I don't have? And I'm like, she don't even shave her legs. I'm killing myself.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like, this one is bald headed. Like, it's like you start doing that. So it's like, it's not really about you and that person in that moment. It's about the timing, right? So that person may not have been mature enough, like emotionally or financially to
I agree.
be with you in that moment. So like I respect it.
But no, so I also see it as like, let's say we ended horribly, like we weren't perfect, we weren't right for each other. We it was a toxic ass relationship, and we both move on, and you find somebody that makes you better or is right for you. It makes sense because we weren't right for each other. Like you found somebody that completed you. We obviously didn't complete each other because that's why we ended.
No, you completed them. They just was not like they didn't complete you.
No, so I don't look at it that way, because at the end of the day, like I don't only put onus on other people. I put it on myself as well. Like there's things I probably didn't do that didn't have us work out. Like I can't put it on someone else. Say, well, I completed them. I made them better. And nah, I can't be that person.
No, you can, because if they're doing better as a result of being with you, that means that you had an impact on them. Like,
but that's the thing, we don't know that. We just know that they're doing better in the next relationship. I'm going off of like
there's tangible things.
There's tangible things. Like I said, like if the guy wouldn't leave the block, all of a sudden he want to fly out Dubai and Miami. Oh, you couldn't even get to Soho Negril restaurant because it was too far. Now you in
damn. You said Soho Negril.
Like
you had to do that.
Yeah,
so he couldn't go to the he couldn't go
to local spots.
He couldn't go to Washington Square Park.
He couldn't cross the bridge. So now, like when I see you, like wanting to do all these things and like me putting a bug in your ear, like helping you get your passport. Now you like legitimize a little bit and you doing these things. It's like, where's my thank you? Give me my flowers because I put you on. It's the same thing like with you and your restaurants. I put you on. Don't bring no other niggas here. It's the same thing.
No, that's different. That's different.
It ain't.
That's different.
You want to be throwing people pies and thighs on the floor.
Hot, Bella. You'll get me hot. Don't bring people to the spot I taught you about.
But I can't get mad. I can't get mad because you flying out on the passport that I applied for. Come on, be for real.
Exactly, like
it's the same thing.
Nah,
it is.
So, how can I say? I don't see that as being in a successful relationship, like flying out with people like that. Like seeing someone genuinely have, like you see, like you dated. Let's say you dated somebody for like 4 years. Y'all break up, and now you see in pictures of him with the new girl. And you never seen this nigga smile with all his teeth in his world, in his life, but pictures with this nigga now, he's smiling with his teeth with this new girl. Like, shit like that I'm talking about. Like, you can see the glow in this nigga's actually genuinely happy. Some shit that you didn't see. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, the nigga is just happy. And it's like, I never seen this nigga happy ever.
Right, but what I'm saying is you can attribute some of their happiness to the life lessons that they've learned with you. Like
I don't know. I can't do that. I can't do that.
So then you a waste man. You wasted their time too. That's why they
no. So I'm okay. I'll tell you the type of person I am. Even at work, right? I'm a manager at my job, right? My team can do exceptional, and my boss will be like, "Oh, you guys did great. You did a good job." Like, nah, I didn't do it. They did it. Like, I'm that type of person. That's me. I can't take the credit. Like, I always want to give the credit to other people.
Well, you need to stop shrinking yourself. It's 2021. COVID, so you go big, go hard, or go home. Okay.
We were just talking about what the failing with the ex, and they doing better with the next person. Bella told me I need to put myself on a high pedestal and feel better about myself and take credit for shit.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, we missed one school shit. The Florida bans from teachers from teaching race the race theory, the critical race theory.
Yeah.
What is that about?
So I'm not sure what critical race theory is. However, it's all politics, right? So if you think about what's going on in like the world right now, like right now in New York City, like in the coming school year, we are expanding our curriculum to include LGBTQ plus information, like the history of it, but we still don't have African American. We don't have no Black history. Like there's no curriculum to support that, and it really is just about politics, implications of what you want, like what you want your public to know. So while we're celebrating Juneteenth, we're also fighting for the right to teach certain topics in like critical race theory in classes. So they don't want you to know about critical race theory, like that slavery is not the beginning of history for Blacks, right? It's just this idea that if we start teaching like Black history, then we are kind of undoing like white supremacy, and that doesn't go with capitalism. It doesn't go with what it means to be America. Like they don't want to acknowledge that the America that we are living in today is as a result of systemic racism. So it bans it because they don't want you to know about where you come from.
Gotcha. I mean, it's how can I put it? We've known this for a long time that they don't give a fuck about us. They don't want we if we band together as we should, there shouldn't be a we need them type thing. And we don't need their curriculum. We don't need their schools. If we did everything we supposed to do, we'll have the knowledge and that we would need. But for some weird reason, we just can't all get together to, how can I say, teach each other. It's always
we don't know enough to teach each other. Like it's not like we don't want to. Like if you think back to like Dr. Umar Johnson, he has all this funding. The GoFundMe been going on for years and almost decades, and he still can't open a school. You got
you think so? Is he really?
No one knows where that money went.
He said he got the money, he got the school. He just need plumbers, electricians. He gonna pay for all the supplies, but he want people to, I guess, do free labor. But that's not the issue. Can I say
something real quick? All right, if I stole some money, right, and I keep saying, yo, they don't want to work for me because I'm a Black man and they want to hold us back from learning and all that, I could run with that for a very long time. Until somebody publicly comes out and say, now we'll do the work, what's up?
I mean, both sides of the story are true, but at the end of the day, think about this is this man's life's work, right? He spent a lot of time going around the country, around the world, preaching this Pan-Africanism and making our own school. Think about all the celebrities that have their own schools. So you got LeBron James, you got Diddy, you got Jimmy Iovine, you got Javi, you got Oprah, you got all these people that have their schools, but they're of no direct consequence to like our communities, right? So LeBron, you're giving back with respect to your dream, your specific area, but they don't focus on critical race theory. They don't focus on before the Mayflower. They don't focus on Black empowerment, right? So
they don't teach the Black curriculum. They teach curriculum.
They just teach. It's just another outlet. So even like with Diddy's school here in Harlem, like it's a charter school, and no slight to charter schools, but charter schools are only put in places where the average median income is below the poverty line. Like you will never find a charter school in a uppity with rich white area because there's no need for it. I'm going to outsource. I'm going to send them to Dalton. I'm going to send them to Spence. I'm going to send them to all of these highfalutin schools. So when you think about what the implications of the critical race theory are, first we have to admit that yes, America's racist. Yes, our history is embedded in enslavement. Our history is embedded in thievery and stealing people and resources from places and taking over. But they don't want to do that.
Still don't understand how people don't understand that.
They understand it. It's clear. They just don't want to accept ignorance. It. Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
And then you have to like reconstruct what we believe it is to be American, what it believes to be America to be. Because at the end of the day, what we have been taught is all a fabrication of the truth. So
I agree.
It makes sense for them to ban it. And it makes sense for Florida to ban it because Florida is Florida. Florida is its own country. But
Florida and Texas are their own countries. Like
listen,
Texas Texas, excuse me.
The Bronx.
Yeah, the Bronx is its own country too, and Brownsville.
Don't forget Staten Island. That's not a part of.
That's not a borough. That's not a borough. Well, no, Long Island is not a borough, but either way. What was I going to say? I completely forgot.
Let's talk about Naomi Osaka.
That queen. Oh, so I was going to say that. I'll say this about Dr. Umar Johnson. He had a great theory about Miss Naomi, which made perfect sense. And it might not be to what people will like, but it was true. I don't know if you guys seen his interview in the Breakfast Club when he was like, what they did to Naomi was wrong and yada, yada, yada. But why is she representing Japan when her father's the one that taught her, her Haitian father is the one that taught her how to play tennis? And it feeds back into the self-hate thing.
She's representing Japan?
So she's going to the Olympics and she's representing Japan. She's playing for Japan. And he's like, why is she not playing for Haiti? And he was like, playing for Haiti would mean more for the country for the country of Haiti than her playing for Japan. Her Haitian father taught her how to play tennis, but she whenever time you hear her, like they announce her and stuff like that, it's always Japan.
She gave up her U.S. citizenship just to play for them back in 2019, 2018.
She had to choose. She can't keep both. So with Japan, they make you choose.
So why choose Japan? And your Haitian father is the one that taught you how to play. And that was a question he asked, and I was like, it's a valid ass question.
But if she identifies as Japanese, then what do you want us to do?
But again,
that's another thing with when you're multi-race. People always want you to pick one.
No, and I agree. I totally agree. But the question he was basically asking is, her playing for Haiti would do more for the country of Haiti itself than her playing for Japan. And he said that her father should have not made her do it, but let her know, like, hey, we can make a difference in the world by playing for our country instead of playing for a country that's dominant already.
But why do athletes have to be activists? She just want to play tennis. Let her play her tennis.
It probably make more sense for her. I think this is more complex than we think.
I think so as well. But I like not the idea, but the position he looked at it from, and it was like I never thought of it of that nature. I legit never thought about it, and I was just like, I can see how some people can feel some type of way that the country of Haiti is in dire need, like they've been through a lot. Like France is stealing money from Haiti. Like they refuse to give Haiti back their money. Like it's wild.
But what is her playing in the Olympics for Haiti? Like what would that do for Haiti?
It will put a spotlight on Haiti. It will drive revenue to Haiti. Because people are like, oh well, we have this. Like, put it like this: when the Dominican Republic is looked at as a tourist spot and stuff like that, but we know Dominican Republic is like it's a lot of rough areas, right? So when it came to baseball, when scouts and everybody started realizing that the Dominican Republic produces a lot of great baseball players, they started going there and setting up organizations in order to help Dominican Republic thrive and just basically overall produce better athletes and putting them in a better situation. So that spotlight of, hey, Haiti can have somebody come out of Haiti. Granted, she probably wasn't born in Haiti, but
she don't identify as Haitian. She just says my father is Haitian.
Yeah, she says my father's Haitian, my mother's Japanese.
Yeah, I mean she never hit it.
She doesn't say, she don't identify as Haitian. She identifies as Japanese.
Japanese. So like and again, like I said, Umar asked that question. Why?
Well, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know much about her.
Me neither. But I support her as a black woman. I support her as a black woman, and what they did to her in France, it was fucked up. But I support her as a black woman. But the question that he asked, it was a relevant question that I could not argue against.
It could, but I just don't understand. I just feel like I don't want all of my athletes to be activists. Like if you are good at playing ball, then play ball. Like you do have a platform, but you don't have an obligation to take a political stance.
100% agree.
So
agree.
if she chooses to play for Japan, then go for it, sis. Like she's taking a stand in other ways, like the mental health stuff.
Yeah.
But for me particularly, like when you sign up for a job and you know the rules of a job, you can't be like, well, I'm not going to do this part of the job because I don't feel like it, right? And I think that is something that you can attach to, like, well, I want to say that the generation, what is it, X, and like the baby boomers, like they kind of just like trudge through things. I'm a millennial also. I'm like the earlier end. So are you, Sha. But
don't be listen, don't be lumping me in with you.
You're in there. I think you got to be like 81. 81 is the cutoff to be a millennial. 81 to like 94 or something like that.
Yeah. I thought you were trying to say I was born in 81. I'm about to say, hold up, now you want to fight.
Nah. So I say that to say, like, we're taught to like suck it up and get the job done.
Which is a bad mentality.
That's like me, all right, I'm a teacher, right? So every day I got to walk in my class with my lesson plan or whatever, right? The day that I walk in my class, I'm like, nah, I don't feel like lesson planning. And I get written up for it. I understand that there's a consequence, right? So with her, she had the consequence of, you don't want to do the press conference? There's a fine. Oh, she looked at her account. All right, take it. Do the fine or whatever. And this whole idea of, I think that the idea of mental health, and because it's such a trending topic and everyone is into it, and self-help, self-care, all of this stuff, I don't want to take it for right. I don't want it to be like this thing like, oh, I need a day. Like I got a little girl that's in one of my classes. She was like, oh, I'm so depressed today. I'm like, why? She like, I lost my cookie. Like, no, you ain't depressed, sis. You just tight. Like, it's just this overstating of mental health that kind of like lets the power of it, like, kind of like, I guess, dilute it a little bit. Like, yes, she may be experiencing these things, but yes, this is also a part of your job. And saying that I don't feel like doing this on this day, you don't have to tell me because you're depressed and you're going through all these things. And don't you notice that I'm wearing headphones? Like, where's the help before that day? I think
so. I see it. Go ahead, Michelle.
So like me, like I had like when they come from like the higher ups to like visit the store or whatever. Had one of those. I'm on vacation. They wanted me to leave vacation, come to the store to like, show them around and shit.
SMD.
And at the same time, both my parents had strokes, so they both were like walking. Like I had to take vacation, and they like literally to this day they'd be coming and they'd be like throwing subs, like like because she had anxiety, like because she was stressed out, like it was. Ugh. I'm so livid still.
I'm with you on that, Michelle, because me and Michelle, we both work retail, and as a Black person in retail, we can't drop the ball on anything. Like we can't call out of work because when it's time for a promotion or something like that, they're gonna look at us like, that one time you did this, that one time you didn't work for us, the one time we needed you, but they never talk about the hundreds of times we did everything, right? So I wholeheartedly agree with you on that sentiment. And like I tell my reps every time, like if you don't want to come to work and you don't feel mentally up to it, just tell me, I need a mental health day. Like I just need a day to myself, because working retail, it's overwhelming. And when Naomi did what she did and said she didn't want to talk to them, she told them like, hey, I will talk after the whole thing because I have a lot of pressure on me. I have like all this stuff, like I have a lot going on with this tournament, and it will get to me, right? So, and the reason why I feel that it was wrong for them to do what they did to her, because if it was a male, it wouldn't have been done. And I have examples of that. If you watch basketball, Greg Popovich never talks to media. Like if you ask him a question, he's giving you one word answers, right? Marshawn Lynch, when he was in the Super Bowl and the playoffs, and every time they sat him down to talk, and he only said one thing: "I'm just here so I won't get fined. I'm here, I won't get." Technically, he's not talking to the media. He just sat there and repeated the same thing every question they asked him. And it's just like, all right, so if the males can do this, but a woman just don't want to show up because she's not in that headspace at that moment, or she's completely focused, we're going to find her and set an example. But
She's
the
also
men would
black,
sit
too.
there and not give you any answer at all, and you'll accept that. So what would you rather? You rather someone not show up and or you rather someone show up and give you dumb answers? So you can't play both sides of the fence. You can't do that. Like I used to play ball, and I understand what the if you're in a heated tournament, or you're in a headspace where like you need to stay focused, and you don't want to break that focus, and your anxiety may get the best of you. Like I used to dance on a TV show called Flex in Brooklyn. Before I got on stage, I used to have back spasms, and because I was so nervous, and like I get it. Like it could be debilitating at certain moments. But if someone tells you like, hey, I have no problem talking to the media the moment I'm out of the tournament or once the tournament's over, all right, cool. Let's figure something out. If you want to write a statement about, or if you want to answer questions via email or something like that about your post game, cool. But like, don't force somebody to do something they don't want to do. I'm not asking you to change the rules or anything like that, but understand that there's different strokes for different folks. Like you can't paint with a broad stroke and expect everybody to be the same exact way.
I hear you. I didn't have those other examples to kind of pull from, but at some point, like you do have to, like, where do you draw the line between like somebody abusing a mental health situation and someone just being like,
people do that all the time.
I completely agree. People do abuse mental health because that's the one thing people won't fight against.
You also can't see it, right? I can't determine, like, because anxiety doesn't look the same for everybody. Depression doesn't look the same. Like, I could be a functioning person who is a manic depressive. Like, there is, it's no one size fits all. So I just, it's hard for me to kind of get into it specifically with each person because it looks different and it shows up differently. And this Black campaign to like take care of yourself, and COVID taught me to be still and meditate, and all these things that are being put on our like frontal lobe. Like for me, as my parents are immigrants, both my parents are from Panama, my grandparents are from Jamaica, so their like mindset is survival. So like there was no sick days, there was no off days. Like we got to get to this money because we got goals, we got places to be. So being of that mindset is hard when I'm watching people say like, oh, I'm taking a day off to sleep, or I'm taking a day off to do these things, because it's like, okay, like I could see how you would need rest. I could see why you need to be rejuvenated. I understand it. It makes perfect sense, but it's still something, again, that needs to be unlearned and relearned for its better purpose.
I also think that growing up in the era we did, and with West Indian parents, that we watched them work so hard, and we picked up bad habits in terms of working.
Because you don't see like white people, like white coworkers, like they get a pass. They get a pass.
They do.
But it's like they always expect Black people to be
above and beyond, 100%.
Yeah, like they don't like a Black person, like stating mental health, like they look at you crazy, like
But we've made mental health a white thing, right? Like when, like
we don't get treated when we have mental health issues.
They be like, that's white people business. No, don't come over.
Like crazy. And from all three of us coming from West Indian backgrounds, we all know that we come from a point where it's like, for lack of better words, like mental health is not something that we talked about in our households.
Or it's like pray to Jesus.
Like you pray it off, or like if someone comes out as gay within the family, it was, oh my God, they can't believe that, and then you're going to hell, like all types of shit. Like I give you a prime example, right? Like you said, mental health is a white thing, right? I work for a company. I won't say what because I don't want them to sue me or whatever the hell it is. But I'm an assistant manager, right? My manager above me at the time, what was it, 2 years ago? Well, last year, he legit had a nervous breakdown at work. Like, so prior to this happening, he was having like marital issues or whatever it is of that nature, right? And he was trying to get a divorce from his wife, yada yada yada. So on a Friday night, he texts me on Friday night and goes, "Hey, I'm not coming to work tomorrow. I'm checking myself into the hospital." And I'm just like, okay. So that left me in a position to, okay, I have to run this by myself, right? So I run the show, whatever. He goes from this, let's say that's December. He's out of work from December to May. All claiming mental health, right? The first day he comes back, he meets his new boss, which is a district manager and operations manager. They know I've been running the show for the last 6 months, and they're like, hey, we're going to do a walkthrough for an audit, whatever of that nature. The staff also knows I've been running the show for that long. So every time they need the question, they're asking me because I'm the go-to person they've known for the last 6 months. This man literally has a nervous breakdown in front of his new boss that he has never met and our operations manager for the district. Do you know this man goes on LOA again, comes back to work, keeps his job, and then gets promoted?
That's a white people shit. That's
some white people shit. And I'm just looking like, I legit said to myself, I said, we as black people don't have that level of privilege.
You don't have that luxury. You're expected to be strong. Like, it's embedded in you. Like, even like with the pain tolerance, like you go to the emergency room, and this I have experienced this year alone. Like, legit, on a scale of 1 to 10, like, what's your pain level? And I'm like, oh, it's a 10. The nurse circled 7. I'm like, you sure? I said 10. I was like, can you scratch that up? But she's like, no, 10 looks like you can't talk, can't focus, you can't think. Like, they just perceive our experience differently.
Yeah, differently,
yeah. So
they do that to black women a lot, and that's why a lot of black women die under medical care of white doctors. Like, a lot. Like, there's a lot of statistics that says that black pregnant women die more often in hospitals opposed to white women, and it's because they don't take black women serious when it comes to pain thresholds, pain levels, actually diagnosing their symptoms and shit like that. And it's like, why? Like, someone's telling you, like, for your example, someone's telling you that they're in pain level 10, but you circle 7. That's legit negligence. You're brushing someone off, saying it's not that serious, and it stems from that's how we grew up. Like you said, we can fall and hurt ourselves. Oh, it's not that serious. Wipe it off. It's not that serious. Drink some Robitussin. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. Like, man up. Like, I had these conversations with my homeboys. Like, that was a toxic ass shit to hear. Like, man up. Like, but looking back on it now, we know it's toxic and it's a bad mentality to have. Like, boys don't cry. Like, huh? Like, I have an example of, like, it's crazy because between 6th grade and now, I've cried 6 times. I've cried a total of 6 times since my 6th grade year. I cried in 6th grade because a girl broke up with me. I cried at my wedding. I cried at Kobe's death. And I cried twice with someone else. And it's because I was stressed out. And I cried one other time. But I cried 6 times since 6th grade. That's not healthy because I didn't know how to cry.
Right.
Like, I would have to reach a breaking point for me to cry. Like, my wife, and I cried. I started 6 times was my son, my son Logan being born. My son Logan and my wife were the only 2 times I've ever cried out of joy in my life because I didn't know how to cry.
Dang.
I became overwhelmed with emotion. That's how the crying came out.
That's not the black man issue.
Yeah.
It is. Like, it's because I was taught not to cry. Men don't cry. Man up. Stop crying.
And that's why y'all don't communicate well either.
Correct.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, we don't communicate well
because it materializes as something else. So you might be really sad or genuinely hurt or whatever, but it comes out as aggression. It comes out as leave me alone. It comes out as, I'm gonna beat on you because you don't know how to express or let that feeling manifest in a way that it can be like dealt with.
Correct.
So it makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell we were just talking about just now, but yeah.
Yeah.
Can I rant for a little minute?
Go for it.
All right. Kevin Hart.
What he talking about?
He went on a whole Twitter rampage about how he has 3 of the 10 highest growing comedy tours of all time, and people saying that he's not funny, but his numbers prove that he is. He's one of the top selling box office actors of all time. And it don't make sense to me that, like, I call this the Nicki Minaj syndrome, where someone tells you that you're not good at something and all you want to do is point at numbers. Because the way I see it is like this. Yes, you, Kevin Hart, you might have sold a ton of tickets and movie tickets and all this shit, right? But that does not mean you're funny. We're going into it hoping you're funny. We buy tickets to your comedy specials hoping you are funny. Now, once we get there and we see that the material is not funny, we can then decipher that you're not funny. But in that moment, we could be like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna give him another try. We're gonna circle back and see if he can do it again. We buy tickets again, hoping you are funny. If you're not funny again, now we're like, all right, this is 2 out of 2. Something's not right. I had the same issue with Michael Blackston. Michael Blackston banned me on Instagram because I posted that I walked out of his show because he's not funny. Like, I never been to a Michael Blackston comedy show. I used to watch Michael Blackston on BET Comic View. I'm showing my age. And he was funny on Comic View, but we all know Comic View, they only have the comics up there for 5-10 minutes. It was short stints. Now, he was headlining at King's Theater, and I went. And I legit walked out. I'm like, I can't take this shit no more. He's not funny. They had posted, like, he had posted a photo of him saying the show he killed and all that. I'm like, yo, you weren't funny. You told one joke and you dragged it on for like 20 minutes. And he blocked me. like Trey Songz blocked me because I said that his album, like, I didn't even say his album was good. I retweeted someone saying his album was good, and I put like the crying emoji, and he blocked me. It's like these artists think that because I sell well or because a select number of people like me, oh, I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. No.
Well, you could blame Jay-Z for that. He said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't, right? So
yes.
The thing with creatives, when they do all of their projects, they're like, I guess, labors of love, passion projects. Mm-hmm. So they don't necessarily, they forget the fact that people can critique. They forget the fact that people can say, I like this or I don't like this, because they are also culture vultures. So in this era of social media, like, there ain't no hate button. I want Instagram to put a hate button or like a dislike or don't post this shit again, because I don't.
Do you know I have the ability to remove the likes off my Instagram posts? They're removing likes. I have the ability to not show you how many likes I have on a post.
Well, that's important, because because then you can't be an influencer then. How would that affect influencers? Because if you can't see how many people like this, you can't be influenced to like it also.
Yeah. In Canada, they should have removed it. Like, it's not a choice. You don't see, no one, wait, excuse me, let me say this. If I live in Canada and I post something, you can't see how many likes, if we both live in Canada, you can't see how many likes I have on my post, but I can see how many likes I have on a post. So like you said, it takes away from people being an influencer, because you have to now show these companies like, hey, I can influence people, but you can't really show it.
It can be in comments. It can be done differently, but it's interesting with Kevin Hart because he has had this critique before that he's not as funny. The last thing that he did for COVID in his house, it wasn't that good. And, like, I have people that are close to Kevin Hart that are like on his team and stuff. So it's like, it's really hard to digest him as this artist.
She just name dropped, so I just want to make sure you pick that up. I want you to leave that down there.
I just said I have people that's close to him. I didn't say that I was close to him.
It don't matter. You have people in the circle, so you can go ahead and pick that up.
Nah. And you know, like, it's not just him, right? So when you say Kevin Hart is not funny, you saying his whole team corny because, you know, they're writing for him, they're piecemealing. So it's like, it's a personal insult to him. But at the end of the day, Kevin Hart is about money. So he's always going to go to numbers. He's like, I don't care if you think I'm funny or not. You can opt in or out of whatever. Dollars. I made this amount of dollars. I employed this amount of people. I feed this amount of families. I got these types of productions in place.
Which is
and
cool.
That's what matters. Like, people care about the money. They don't care about the talent. And we're not in an era where you actually have to be talented to become famous.
Which is sad.
Yeah.
And let me say this. I don't think Kevin Hart is not funny altogether. I think Kevin Hart is not funny stand-up wise anymore. It's like, I don't think he's stand-up funny anymore because now he's talking about, like, he talks about how he cheated on his wife and yada yada. Like, dog, don't make jokes about that. You cheated on your wife while she was pregnant on her birthday weekend. Don't do that.
That's embarrassing.
Like, that's embarrassing. That's wild embarrassing. And my thing was this: like, Kevin Hart
has my pain. Laugh at my pain.
Kevin Hart has one of the funniest shows on the internet. Period. It's called Cold as Balls. I don't know if you have watched this show. It's the best thing he's ever created.
What, he takes that water therapy thing shit?
Yes, we're in the ice bath. It is hilarious. And like, I feel like that he's in his natural environment that way. When he's just cracking jokes on people he know, and it's like it's all natural conversation. It's amazing. Like, I never seen Kevin Hart as a serious actor. Always saw him as a comedy actor, but I don't know if you guys see the movie with him and Bryan Cranston. I can't remember the name of it right now. But
where he's the home attendant?
Yeah, correct. That one. I love that
was
movie.
Good.
It was an amazing movie, but I was just like, dog, like, you should do more serious roles. He has a movie on Netflix right now where he plays a single dad. I
can't wait to see it. Fatherhood. It comes out this weekend for Father's Day.
So it comes out this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm interested in seeing that because, again, it looks like it has
well with that.
It looks like it has a hint of comedy in it, but it also is going to be touching on a serious subject, which is something that I want to see more from him. And I feel as though that, yes, you might be the biggest selling comedian of all time, but you have to understand that numbers is not the only thing that matters. Like, you telling that your fans that people that really supported you, that, well, I don't care what you think because I sold. It's like, dog, that's a bad way to look at shit.
True.
A lot of these people, I feel like they get famous and they cater to white people.
Yeah, and it's true. Like, most comedians do that. Like, they get super famous and then they comedy style start catering to an audience. They try to cross. It's called basically crossing over. Same thing with rap music. Like, a lot of
Nicki
rappers.
Minaj did, right? We built her up, and then she started making shit like Starships and Super Bass. Like, it was just like, bruh. Then she lost her fan base, and then was mad at it. I don't know. She always be saying like, black people this, black people that. She needs to relax.
Yeah,
I like her though, but she gotta.
Speaking of somebody that crossed over and became big, Meg the motherfucking Stallion.
Leave her.
Yeah.
I don't care what no one say. She shot herself at this point.
You think so?
I said it before, right? I said it. It was like a couple podcasts ago. I recorded.
What happened?
I think she shot herself.
Woman? Protect black women.
No, protect black women. I'm not even arguing that. Protect black women. I still think we.
You're going down the Joe Budden route too. Right now.
Huh?
You're going down the Joe Budden route right now.
No. I'm sorry. Protect all black women, but we also got to protect black women from themselves. I think she shot herself.
Joey.
I think she shot herself. You want my example? Why?
Something about that is a little bit weird, but I don't think
it's weird. Herself. Like, let me ask you a question. All three of us riding in the car. I shoot one of you two ladies in the foot. We know who's in the car, but I'm not going to jail.
I'm confused about like why her and her best friend stopped talking. Like,
they stopped talking, and then also she came out on social media and said, "Tori, you shot me." She did a whole Instagram live saying, "Tori, you shot me." This man is in Live nightclub shooting dice with the Migos. It's something's not right about that. Like, if I shoot somebody, they're coming to take me to jail immediately.
And he black. I don't think that's it. I think there's something else, but
there's something.
That's my theory. I'm not gonna
there's
say
something
out loud.
else, like AKA she shot herself. And they don't know who the fuck to believe at this point. Because if she came out on social media and basically said, Tori, you shot me. Stop acting like a bitch. You have your team coming out and making it seem like you didn't shoot me, but you shot me. Okay, that's admissible in court. Like they can use that in court. Like, you shot a black woman. Let's take him to jail. You don't have to come to court. We have your statement. You said it on social media. Because they use social media to arrest rappers nowadays. So why isn't he in jail? Mind you, he's also Canadian.
Remember,
he's a Canadian citizen.
He's also rich. He got rich lawyers. I don't know.
No. Meg has Jay-Z behind her. Meg is signed to Rock Nation Management.
I don't know, man. I think we gotta wait for the trial.
There is going to be no trial. He hasn't been charged.
She said, we got to wait for the trial.
He hasn't been charged. He hasn't had an arraignment. He hasn't had nothing. He went to jail that night, got out, and has not seen a police department since.
Yeah, something about the story is a little bit wonky.
It's off. It's fucking off. Like, this shit makes no sense. If one of us shoots somebody, they're coming for us, and we're going to jail. We're going to be under the jail. Like, it don't make sense. It don't. But protect all black women.
Yes.
Even from themselves.
And on a high note.
Let's see. Jillian Michaels. Why should we celebrate Lizzo for being confident?
So she was
a doctor. Really celebrating obesity.
So basically, Lizzo. I'm
gonna step away from this one because I'm not gonna say nothing about this.
No, I think that you should weigh in on it because it really isn't an issue of women, but it's really the standard of beauty that is acceptable in America. So you know how Lizzo get down. She with her two pieces, her thongs, whatever. She's greased up or whatever. And when people look at her, some people are looking at it like, yeah, women empowerment or whatever. But other people are looking at her like, oh my gosh, you're obscene. Like, remember the last time she was in the paper for going to like the basketball game in like a thong bathing suit or something like that. And they're like, oh, children are here and this is a national game. And like, no one cares. Like, why do we care what Lizzo wears? We don't care what Kylie Jenner wears. We don't care what skinny chicks wear. We're not praising anorexia when we are going to Fashion Week or Fashion Night out in New York because all of them bitches is way underweight. But because she's bigger, it's this idea that we are going to be pretty much like praising obesity. Like, we're all obese. I'm obese.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to be praising obesity. I don't think that we should limit what people wear. I just think that outfit was much.
I mean, she does make it a focus, but she says she doesn't.
She legit walked into a Lakers game courtside with her ass out. And I'm not even mad about that. You know what I'm mad about? Don't see something not clean like that. You have your ass on some leather seats, ass cheeks. We grew up in West Indian households. They had plastic on those couches, which mimics that leather feel. No, your ass cheeks get sweaty and it sticks to the leather. No.
I'm done.
Listen, you can wear whatever you want to wear. I don't care. Right? I'm not the fashion police. I don't care. This is America. That's the point of this, right? But when we start attaching it to like bigger symbolism, like, oh, instead of preaching with this woman, like I'm not gonna police her. So saying that she is obscene for wearing a two-piece or whatever, like that's her preference. Am I gonna do it? No. Am I gonna entertain? Am I gonna clap for her? Like that's her thing. Like there are women that are looking to Lizzo like, oh, okay, this back fat is all right. Like it can hang out the way.
This
like,
back fat is all right.
It's giving some women some life in terms of like what they look like and what they should aspire to. And then in other words, in other women's eyes, is like, nah, I don't want to get to that point. So like somebody's always gonna have an opinion. And I don't think that a white woman should have any say on what a black woman is doing with her body and choosing to express, because we don't do it to white women. We not
white women should shut the fuck up. They stole Brooklyn from us.
Talk about it. I'm not even from Flatbush no more. Harlem is stolen. Okay.
They stole Harlem. That's gone.
I mean, come on.
What is it called now?
They try to call where we at Soha.
Hamilton Heights.
They try to call where I'm at Soha, like South
Soha?
Harlem.
Yeah.
What happened to Hamilton Heights?
Oh, that's right over there. That's been around.
Nah, I ain't never heard of that shit ever in my life.
Really? That's
never.
right up. That's been there. That's been there.
Never.
People claim that. People literally claim that.
Not never.
They're like, yeah, I'm from Hamilton Heights, like that.
Never.
Yeah, that's been there.
Never.
That's been there.
But I agree. Do you ladies still want to talk about the Monique thing?
I'm sick of the bonnets. No.
You don't want to talk about?
All right, you know what it is? I feel like Black people, like how come everything we do has to be like for like an example for our whole race? Like, why do we have to be like we go outside, if we do something, like that's all Black people?
I'll say this. It's not right for me to say it. I'm gonna say it. We should be individualized, right? But let's say we hear a school shooting. What are we saying?
White people.
That's some white people shit.
There we go. Like it's wrong, but we do it too.
Yeah. You know what I hate though?
We don't
somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I hate when I'm somewhere fancy. We all just being fancy and shit. And then it'd be like people come in being mad ghetto and shit. And I'd be like, damn. It's like
fuck.
It's like shit. Now they're gonna look at me now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like people shouldn't dumb down themselves and change themselves for other people, but like also know the room that you're entering into.
It's because we know that it's not we don't have the affordability the how can I put it? We don't have the area to be put as individuals. They always lump us together. Mm-hmm. Same way Black people always lump all white people together.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm tired of the bonnet shit. Like, let people wear their fucking bonnets where they want. What I want to go away is those furry fucking slippers.
Yo.
I'm tired of those goddamn slippers.
Some bitch was wearing that shit in the rain the other day. I was like, what the fuck?
That's gonna be some wet pit bull fur.
Pit bull.
I got some, so I'm not even gonna talk about them. Shout out to Confetti. Okay.
You go outside with them?
No.
Okay,
but I really like them.
See, yeah, in the house is cute.
Those, you know what's funny? You know what I equate those slippers to now? Those Chinese slippers.
Mm.
Don't say that. No.
I equate them to the
in the house is fly.
The beauty supply slippers.
No, my slippers cost $150.
I didn't say yours. I said I equate them to the beauty supply store slippers.
I'm just saying no. We're not going in.
Nah, yeah. It's not the same. It don't hit the same. Just I'm not outside. Not with like you don't wear like an outfit.
No, it's not an outfit. Mm-mm.
She be dressing it up. She got the Panamanian flag slippers.
Listen, no, mine just false fur. When I step out of my pumps and I want to get in my car, I can drive in them. How cute.
All right, so the last topic we have to talk about is Karen strikes again. White woman chastises lesbian couple for PDA at a public pool because the children was present. My God, Karen.
Yeah. When I watched the video, I was like really appalled because
I didn't know who or what she was chastising. All I saw her was yelling at people. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
She's like, you fucking make me sick. Fuck you. But they can't kiss, but you can curse and carry on. There's children here. Do you have any children? Oh, I'm from Compton, baby. Like she's like doing.
The white woman said she's from Compton.
She's from like some hood town in I think LA somewhere. And I'm like, girl,
wow.
Bye. But the idea of it is like, first of all, people like love is love, right? So if they express in any way, like fine, right? But the fact that you are being disparaging. So I'm only going to talk to the black couple, I think it was lesbian couple.
Yeah.
And not anyone else. It's like, that's problematic. And then if you're so bothered by it, then you take a stance, you remove your kids from the situation, and you don't have to oust somebody else for their lifestyle choice.
And you don't have to yell at them. Like you could speak to the manager, like, "Hey, can we?" You can do it in a.
No, don't go talking to no manager because they pay just like you paid. Like
you right.
I don't like that. Like because now. Like, cause what do you say as a manager? Like, all right, you the guy at the pool. Like, what you gonna go say? Yeah, I'm gonna go tell them no kissing. Like, what?
Better example. I said that wrong. She could have went to the couple who was like, "Hey, my children are here. Can we not be as public displays as you are?" And if, at that point, no. So what I'm saying is, she could have handled it like an adult instead of yelling at people.
You could have left if it made you that uncomfortable.
It's a public place.
You can't do that.
I just think I think we should be open to conversation. Like if she would have came as a respectable person and said, "Hey, can we not do as?" Because did we ever see video on how they were kissing?
No, it don't matter how they kiss.
No, wait, no, because some people be out in these streets kissing like they about to fuck.
Yes, the Hispanics, especially in a train station. I went to school at Dewey. They used to be kissing every morning.
We've seen that shit. So there's levels to kissing. Like
it don't matter, but it doesn't matter. Who are we to police what love look like? If I don't know your circumstances, how I know you didn't spend your life savings to come to this hotel, to this pool, to kiss and do whatever? Like
if you wanna fuck between 10 and 2 a.m.
But
in
people
the pool.
have different comfortabilities. Like you can't just your comfortability doesn't override everyone else's.
No, and I agree, but that's why I say she could have handled it like an adult. She could have went to the person like, "Hey, my kids are here. Can we not do as much kissing as you?" Because again, we don't know what kind of kissing was going on. If it was over the top, like, "Hey, you can kiss, but like not with the grind."
Do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself? You would have woke up to a grown adult couple like, "Hey, y'all can kiss, but not too hard because my kids is here." You better get the F out of here with your little rugrats.
But if they grind on each other and feeling on each other, like,
then you have to make the decision you make the decision that these kids are not. It's kind of like in the movies, right? When they start kissing and you get too deep.
Eyes.
That's the same thing. Like turn your back, they kissing y'all. All right, go swim. Like it's not the same. If it's excessive, then you remove the kids from the situation. That's all it is. I mean, remove your kids without making people feel.
I agree with you. I'm just playing devil's advocate, saying that she could have handled it a lot better. I'm just giving one example of how she could have handled it. Like she could have legit just been an adult. What do you say?
Hey, my kids are here. Stop kissing.
I'm not a Karen.
You pretend to be a Karen, so Carisha, come on, tell me.
I'm a shy. I'm not a Karen.
Carisha, tell me.
But yeah, like I just think like legit, like some people like there's ways you can handle certain situations like without being an asshole.
Absolutely, but in this kind of situation, like the best course of action is to remove your children,
mind your business
from the situation. Like
I totally agree. Your best course of action is mind your fucking business,
or tell your kids to stay in the cabana while they doing it. Like they ain't gonna be there all day. Like it's a free country. So this, like, I believe that if there were a heterosexual couple, she wouldn't be. Yeah. Oh, that's what mommy and daddy does. This is what men and women do when they love each other. It's more morality being imposed on other people.
Her man probably left her for somebody.
Because at the end of the day,
her man was pulling her away from them.
Right. It was the other gay couples that are like, Bill, get out of here. Like, you are terrible. Shame, like doing all of that. It's just like, are you serious? Like, and they also don't like to be called out for their bad behavior. So she knew that what she was doing inherently was wrong. And she was embarrassed that they were recording her and like, I guess, calling her out on it. And I think that the trend recently to record them and like make it a big deal, make them go viral so that there are consequences in their life for this type of behavior, I think it's really important.
A lot of the whites lost their jobs.
Yeah. Like that lady with the Central Park bird watcher. Like
she got a whole fucking shit named after her.
That man was too lenient.
Yeah, and then like my whole thing is you can't take a stance and then be like, I don't want her to lose her job. Like, no, you be going for the gusto. Like you don't do that.
The more that
she lost her dog.
Yeah, they now she was choking the shit out that the dog.
She lost her dog, her job, everything. Go ahead, Michelle.
That animal should have said, "Give me back that fucking dog."
Yeah, like the more we sue and the more we make it a big deal, they're gonna treat us like how they treat Jewish people.
Untouchable.
Basically.
All right, ladies. So we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you for being a part of this episode and part of the podcast. Ladies, let them know where they can find you on your social medias. Bella, where can they find you?
At BellaHoney05.
Michelle, where can they find you?
Michelle _5 times T.
Oh my God. Why do you have so many underscores?
It's Mad Michelle's out there. You got to make sure you get the right one. So again,
we're gonna change your Instagram. Go ahead, say your Instagram again. Michelle 5_T.
yes.
No, we're gonna change your Instagram name. But ladies, thank you for joining me. Everybody, thank you for listening. I know it's a long episode, but we're gonna get back on this and do this weekly. So thank you for listening, and ladies, thank you again.
Thank you. Good night.
All right, y'all.
Bye.